embarrassing. It's AI. It's made up. It's out of context. You know the drill. You know the drill, people. All right. So our good old buddy, good friend of mine, actually. You ever heard of Donald Torres Burgos? Good friend of mine. Good friend of mine. He's from Italy. You ever heard of that place? Lovely, lovely place. Um, well, he came out with with a shocking expose. So we're gonna check this out. All right, the AI actually made me look a lot better than I actually look, so off to a good start. Let's listen to this. Gaten talks about Jay Stock's breakup and his obsession with not food shops. I don't think I've spoken about Jay Stock's breakup in weeks. Denal's a bit late this time. All right, listen up. Jay Stock is raped, like a total loser. Check this out. The reason Cherry dumped him is that during their intimate moments, he called her food shops. No joke, dude. What was he thinking? Jay Stock is seriously into foods. Like, what the hell? And now it looks like he's got to have all the girls Destiny has interacted with. Willie asks, how do I know that? Well, Koyman filled me in. He's apparently dating the BPD chick. He is so raped. The commentary community is fucked. All right. So this isn't Cope. I feel like this is AI. There is something, there's nothing to even like have to sweep for here because I don't know what's going on. It's like, I think it would be funny if you made AI like, you know, I was like saying something funny, like I'm Aiden, I suck, I smell bad, or whatever the fuck, right? But it's just like AI talking about a breakup and mentioning some other people's, like, what is the joke here? Like, I can't tell sometimes. I know like the videos are AI, I know the writing is AI, but the account itself, I don't think is actually run by AI. So I'm trying to figure out like, what is the motivation? This isn't anything damning. He's not getting AI to make me say anything damning. It's not funny. There's no joke. There's no punchline. This account makes me angry because of how much it confuses me. I'm confused and I need help. You are the joke. You are the joke. Oh, haha, aha, 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 aha. But yeah, real confirmed video of me. I mean, I don't really know what's happening here, man. This is like, this account, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it, and I need help. I honestly do not understand. Denal was supposed to, okay, I guess I just, never mind. Denal was supposed to be calling in once, and then never came on. I don't know what's going on here, but Denal, we need your help to figure out this art form that is your Twitter account. Real quick, we got some donos. We got, Godspeed with the 10 Canadian. I'm seeing Corn tonight. Holy shit, dude. Have a good fucking time, man. Have a good time. Nene with the $2, AG4L. Thank you so much for the $2. Alright. So it's a real video? Yes. It's real. I confirm it. Okay? I confirm it. Okay, people want me to cover the Sam Hyde girl allegations or whatever. There is no point in covering anything negative this guy does or has ever done because nobody's mind is ever going to be changed. And I'm just not interested to begin with. I don't know. It seems like the owner of Kiwi Farms is convinced, like you could say, oh, you're just like a coping lefty trying to make Sam Hyde look bad. You know, if it's anything to go off of, it seems like Kiwi Farms is convinced that this guy did some weird shit. I don't know what the deal is with that. I will let a more worthy individual that is not me cover it. So Tectone, who is like a crybaby little bitch, that like cries on stream, that he didn't get away with like propping his dad up to be a hero, when in fact his dad was like a, you know, prolific military sexual harasser convicted of crimes in regards to sex. crimes of a sexual nature, I should say. It was what, inappropriate touching and workplace sexual harassment. And Tectone propped his dad up as a hero, the shining example of, to posture over Hassan because Hassan bad. And then, how are you not supposed to go and reply to that with this your dad? And it's like Congress literally talking about your dad's fucking sex crimes. And then instead of like apologizing, or you don't need to apologize for your dad's sex crimes, by the way. You're not guilty. I hate this narrative of like, oh, you think Tectone's guilty because of what his dad did? No, absolutely not. I don't even blame Tectone if he still talks to his dad, despite his dad being a horrible person. I can imagine the situation that puts you in, right? What I don't expect is for Tectone to prop his dad up as a hero, have him come onto live streams around women, some of which said the dad was being weird, et cetera, et cetera. And then when this fact is revealed, instead of making it like apologetic to your father's victims, who you could have potentially re-traumatized by putting their sexual harassers, their gropers' face up on like a pretty big channel, right? Instead of apologizing to them, instead of apologizing to the women you put at risk by bringing your dad around them, etc., all of a sudden, after being all loving with his dad, now Tectone's the victim. Now all of a sudden his dad it's Schrodinger's victim. Okay? It's Schrodinger's victim. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He's getting accused of rape all of a sudden. You would accuse someone of rape who's been raped 2 times? As if people who are raped can't go on to rape. Also, like, what does that have to do? Like, how does that make an allegation against you any more or less credible, right? So he does the tough guy thing and then cowers and pretends to be the victim. You can't have the best of both worlds, Techie. Okay, you cannot have the best of both worlds. And it is kind of pathetic, this guy's entire existence. But he does this, like, trying to be like, look at what you've created. It's so fucking cringe. It's like him behind a tree. Yeah, it's like semi-ironic, but he's also doing the bit like, I'm just filled with so much hatred. He does the thing, and people do this. They try to position themselves as the bitter, hateful one, as if they're the one who's been wrong. Tectone, I know you have so much hate you harbor, except everyone else hated you first before you hated them. So we're actually the haters. We're actually the ones who are bitter and resentful towards you, and any hate that you do have is fucking dwarfed by the hatred that we have back for you. You are not the cool, hateful, bitter guy, okay? It's just not you. You're the fucking, like, cringe lord who just, like, did a bunch of, like, crazy shit, to put it lightly, and you suck in every conceivable facet. But yeah, we got this post, and then we got a new video. Remember how I said he was sympathy baiting, being like, I'm stepping away for months. I said, this is a guy who's like self-value or like feeling good is like totally hingent upon getting validation and like praise from others. Well, I said he would not be off for a month. And even if he wasn't posting to YouTube, he would have to get that validation from some source, whether it be Twitter, etc., etc. But, he didn't even do that. He was back pretty fast, making that entire video pointless. Like a pathetic, like, sympathy baiting, like, you suck.
Hey guys, before anybody leaves a comment, yes, I'm gonna regrow out my beard. All
of her video starts. Okay, I do the same thing, except I do the exact same thing. I can't even call him on that. I start this off with like, yeah, I have acne. For those of you that don't know.
I don't know what happened. I was going to come up with a crazy-ass excuse. In reality, I was just having one of those things where it's like I was looking for my little razor head and I couldn't find it. So I said, maybe I can free it and maybe I can just clean it up. And
I know what
I fucked up.
He has this image of himself in his mind. He's created this like character story arc of how he wants to portray himself to others. And it's very manipulative, but he can't stick to his own script. So it's a very flexible script that is contradictory. So he'll do the cool, hateful, bitter, badass, and then when any pressure is applied to this persona, a persona hingent upon being a cool, hateful, badass, cowers and cries and plays victim like a bitch.
Everything up, and then I had to make it all lined up. And anyways, now I end up looking like a extra from The Walking Dead who's like probably got a drug addiction. Anyways, I'm out here with my dog. You might see him in the background. His name is Mango. Hopefully you'll say hi. I just had kind of a moment where I kind of realized why is all this craziness happening in terms of what's going on in real life on Twitter and what's kind of been going on.
So he's gonna do this like whole video. It's like a fireside chat where he talks about literally nothing. It's gonna be like literally nothing.
With a journey with me, as well as what might be going wrong in your relationship. Yeah, we're talking about a lot of topics here today.
Ooh, I want to hear this. I do want to hear this. Okay. I need the advice. I need the advice.
This will hopefully be eye-opening to a lot of you guys. And what I kind of want to do today is talk about what's wrong with your relationship first. And then after that, I want to go into what's wrong.
What's wrong with your relationship? You, as a man, have to stop taking no for an answer. If you take no for an answer, she's going to get used to saying no. A relationship is transactional, and she has to give you what you want, and sometimes that involves you taking it.
With what has happened with the history of my career and to what is wrong with the world today. And just humor me a little bit. And once again, I'm not back to streaming yet, but if you want to see me be very angry, there goes Mango in the backyard. There's a hole back there, and he's trying to go to China, I guess, because maybe he's worried about the state of America. I don't know. Anyways, what is wrong with your relationship? So you have a girlfriend. Yeah. Yeah, you're with your girlfriend, right? With your girlfriend. And you're laying there and, you had a long day of work and you come and you lay on your bed and you take off your socks and you throw them on the ground. Okay, you throw them on the ground. And your girlfriend, out of nowhere.
No socks people are so great. My feet, by the way, are just like the whitest shit you've ever seen. Because there's never been a moment in my life besides when I'm in the shower where I'm not wearing socks. People who just like don't wear socks, it's just like so gross. Put on your socks, little bro. Put on your fucking socks.
Just he's like, oh my fucking God. Are you fucking kidding me? And you're like, bro, it's just a sock. Why are you tweaking? While she's yelling at you, while she's crying, while she's worried about the work, and you come and you lay on your bed and you take off your socks and you throw them on the ground. Okay, you throw them on.
Yeah, the only people that do shit like that are like undisciplined, like loser slobs who had mommy pick up after them. And then when they got to fucking college and lived in a dorm, they like had no clue what they were fucking doing. And their roommate was so fed up with how much of a fucking pig they were that he requested to move and complained to fucking resident advisors and shit. Like, you're a grown man. Mommy's not living with you anymore. And typically, unless this is some arrangement in advance, your spouse, nevertheless girlfriend, is not going to be playing mommy, picking up after you, whatever. And your socks stink. Especially the ones you've been wearing all day. You're fucking sweating in them. This guy probably doesn't. We saw he had like skin cells shedding on his like last video. So God knows what his nails look like. Probably toenail fungus infested, fucking colonized feet, right? Throwing his like sweaty socks onto the floor. Like, is it that much work I have a fucking laundry hamper in my closet, right? Just put it in a hamper and then go lay down. Dude, I do not lay down or even go to bed until this place is fucking spotless. And nobody's here. Nobody's here to complain, right? I had someone over last night, but that's a rare occasion. I don't live in a big place where I'm hosting people over. Not that I have many people to host. But having a clean space is just the most basic part of self-discipline. I'm lacking in self-discipline in other areas, but it should be the starting point. The starting point. Real men keep their spaces fucking clean.
The ground. And your girlfriend, out of nowhere, just seems like, oh my fucking God, are you fucking kidding me? And you're like, bro, it's just a sock. Why are you tweaking? While she's yelling at you.
It's just a sock. It's just like the part of your body the part of your like clothing that's like in contact with your fucking feet all day. Your like sweaty ass feet. And now that sock is like laying God knows where. Like, what do you mean it's just a sock? Just a sock? Okay, techie. Have me as your roommate. Sorry, it's just a condom. Okay, don't worry. It's just like on the counter. I was done with it. I just took it off. Can a guy relax?
While she's crying, while she's worried about the future of your relationship. And what this is an example of is a micro versus macro issue. And in your mind, the only issue is the socks on the floor. In her mind, it is the history of you being a slob, her asking you to clean up after yourself and your absolute refusal to do it, and her worry of you being a man-child because no matter how many times she asks you to do these little things, you don't seem to do
Based, actually.
And, this builds up and this builds up and this builds up. And while you are only remembering this one instance, your girlfriend has what I like to call pattern recognition and is worried about the future due to what is happening now. Does that sound familiar? I know. Good boy. It's a good lesson. It's a very good lesson. I know.
Those like small details don't seem like a lot, but the only people who do the oh that that's not a big deal excuse are like people who are like incapable of like thinking in past, present, or future, like drawing inferences from immediate moments. And yeah, like somebody's hygiene habits, if somebody's doing things like cleaning up their dishes, picking up after themselves, it's actually almost always a pretty good tell for a lot of other issues, for immaturity, etc., and should be a huge red flag for you if you're going into a fucking relationship.
No, you really want to dig that hole,
$5 from G's, aiding good timing on going live, just in time for your core audience. Thank you so much, buddy. My core audience.
We gotta leave that alone, okay? Once you have these guys out, those are your friends. Yeah, have fun. Now let's talk about what went wrong with a lot of my career. Well, okay, I mean, I say that,
Ooh.
One of the most successful creators, especially in the gacha space of all time, though. I mean, I'll be real, I'm moving away from that pretty quick because I'm just having a really hard time, guys, justifying playing a game where it's gonna make me spend $600 to get a new fucking character that's fun for.
Has to do the humble brag. Even if he's talking about some sort of shortcoming, he needs to do it in a way where he's still gonna look super successful. Let's talk about where I went wrong. I was still like, listen, I know him. Because I am him, but cooler and non-rapey, okay, and like asexual and a virgin, okay. This guy is a narcissist. This guy's a narcissist. Even when he admits to some sort of shortcoming, there has to be some humble brag injected in there somewhere.
4 hours when I could go play Silk Song for $20. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to wrap my head around that shit. It makes me feel like a fucking retard, to be completely honest, and I don't know if anybody else is feeling that way. Anyways, let's talk about my career. A man who's played many, many, many different games, and with each one of these many different games, I see an issue, it obliterates the company, it obliterates the player base, it obliterates the fun. I leave, move on to the next, they get upset because I left. And then me be right about absolutely fucking everything. Sorry, that's just how it's been. I worry about what I like to call, once again, pattern recognition. And what I would do was, I would play these video games, I would say, ooh, okay, well, they're doing a glider event where they're paying their creators nothing. That's worrisome from a sponsorship as well as a creator health or just to sell in the character manner and to promote sales for that patch, and then they're forgotten about ever.
Dude, I just like play games, okay? I just play games. I like when people start actually like talking about like games and like Nintendo this and fucking some Japanese guy's name who I've never heard of, and it's like, dude, you're too far in it for me. I'm bored. I'm tuning out. I just play games to play them. I don't care who made them. I play what I like and nothing more. Just like the gamer talk. I don't know how to put it, right? I just play games. I'm not a gamer. Does anyone care about this guy? I don't. I care about Techie. Like to A-log him, but this is just our like little starter segment, right? Can't be an Aiden stream without some Techie coverage.
Again, leaving the roster, overly deep, leaving the player base's wallet overly empty, and the story, well, episodic with no real characters keeping theme whatsoever, and them falling to the wayside, and the game story becoming forgettable at best past the first 1.0 through 1.6 patches. I say this, I'm called overly toxic, and then I go on to the next game because the community's too fucking stupid to understand what it is that I'm saying, which is, this isn't an issue yet, but it will be an issue soon.
Boring.
Much later. It's funny as fuck seeing Elon Musk tag Jeff Bezos over a tweet I made at Hassan. Hassan, you have no idea the monster that you created, that you really have no idea.
Oop. Let's listen to this. He's just not that guy, bro. You just don't have that like unhinged, like potentially will like go postal at his workplace like vibe, dude. I'm sorry.
Compilation that I made, by the way. I made that. In my compilation that I can't believe my compilation buddy gets everything equally. Oh my god.
Oh wait.
Who wouldn't want to be? Well, I'll go ahead and go to the next.
Oh, okay. This is up my alley. So he's gonna be discussing. We have this new meta of people who just like know nothing about politics and don't care about politics discussing it, and like honestly, it has to be just like it genuinely has to be like the worst fucking. This is like the worst trend that has occurred. I guess this has always been a thing. I'm just like not 800. Some fucking 80-year-old like breathing out dust fucking mummy is gonna be like, people have always known nothing about politics. Did you see the show in 2000? Like, I don't give a fuck.
Game, well, those games continue to meander. Every creator in the genre continues to fall off, and I will go on to the next because I like games that are fun, that treat their players well. And a lot of these games treat you really well for the first year, and then they stop. And after they stop, that's when I leave. Very simple. Now, let's talk about what's wrong with the world today. What is wrong with the world today? And I'm going to reference something fun, communism. So communism makes a whole lot of sense It does. And I really like breaking this down for you to understand a child's mind and an adult's mind. So
True, it does make a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense. This is why like Tommy C does like has no clue what he's talking about when he draws a comparison between like communists and like neo-Nazis, right? It's not necessarily you're not necessarily a bad person for like you everything that Karl Marx proposes is like admirable per se, right? We just have the hindsight of knowing how like other people have interpreted it and executed it. That doesn't mean Marx has no value, of course. But like a normal, well-functioning, well-adjusted person can read communism, accept it as, oh, this is great, and not be a bad person because the ideology involves, liberation of the oppressed working class, right? And who doesn't fucking love that? The difference with like something like Nazism is, if you were to read the Communist Manifesto and then you were to go read Mein Kampf, you can't adopt Nazi ideology without hating people for immutable characteristics. You can read the Communist Manifesto, accept everything that's written in it, and not harbor like abhorrent viewpoints, right?
communism seems really cool, right? It does. Communism honestly seems
True. Base tectone.
like the best choice that people can make for their nation. Let's just think about this. Everybody gets
I don't think he knows what communism is, though.
everything equally. Oh my God.
Everybody gets everything equal. Yeah, this guy really gets communism, man. This guy really understands communism.
God, who wouldn't want to be a communist? This is fucking great. Everybody gets everything equally. Everybody gets treated equally, and there's no problems whatsoever. Now, if you're a little kid, you might be hearing that and say, wow,
This guy really understands communism. This guy really gets it. If for those of you that are apolitical and don't know like what the fuck a communism is, okay, just listen to this definition. Everybody gets everything equally. So true.
that just sounds really good. How do I sign up to be one of these communists? Well, check out us on Piker Stream today. Man, it's been a fucking trip on Twitter, hasn't it? I can't believe my compilation that I made, by the way. I made that. It was great. Yep. Hopefully I don't hear that quote unquote a while later. It's funny as fuck seeing.
The chat box is bugged. No, it's not. It's just that nobody is typing in chat for some reason. Because, like, people do, like, I call them droolers. The droolers like to fucking sit here and watch and, like, they can't even click a like button. So, like, the chat is, like, the box is built for a higher chat. But there are a lot of people that just, like, sit here and, like, drool. So, you're not really going to get a lot of activity. I didn't really account for that.
Elon Musk tagged Jeff Bezos over a tweet I made at Hassan. Hassan, you have no idea the monster that you've created in me. You really have no idea. Trust me, I am a man who can hate for a very long time. And people.
Wow, dude, shiver me timbers. Hassan says as he fucking... They're like, Hassan preaches socialism, but he lives in this really nice house. It's like, Bez? Hassan really thinking about this as he, like, plunges into his fucking pool with, like, his marble fucking lined pool as he just like plunges in and goes for laps. He's really thinking about this hard, Techie. He's really thinking about this hard. Some guy hates me because he tried to use his dad to posture over me, and his dad was literally like mentioned in the chambers of Congress because he was such a prolific fucking sexual harasser and groper during his time in the military.
Who have been following my channel
Wow, dude, this guy really is the one that should be holding a grudge.
Understand that very well. I hate people who have barely wronged me. Imagine how much I'll hate you when you were...
You've not been wrong. You've done the wronging. We hate you. You're not listen, it's cool to hate, okay? I'm gonna piss off some of the religious people watching. Being like the bitter, hateful, I'm sick of the world type of person. That's cool, right? And the angst, whatever. Except we hated you first. Everyone hated you first. Okay? And you've wronged everyone else. Okay? Nobody has wronged you.
One of the biggest detractors in my life. Imagine when you've wronged me and caused me so much unnecessary harm over things that I've never done. Very fun. Trust me, you have a hater for life. It's great. And no, I will never move on. Absolutely not. I will be joining Nux Taku. It's going to be great. Communism makes a lot of sense to children. They say, oh, well,
dude,
everybody gets
really? I will be... Dude, the collab of the century, bro. Nux Taku and Tectone? Bro. Two of the greatest political minds come together with their flawless records to take down Hassan Piker. What could possibly go wrong when these two geniuses of the century unite for this common unified cause? Okay, we're even getting who else? Lion Maker's coming back. Lion Maker's been watching Hassan, not a fan. Lion Maker's not a fan. Lion Maker actually felt like the age of consent in the Soviet Union was too high, so he's coming in. You know, we've got it's the Avengers, bro.
Everything free. I really like that, teacher. How do I be a communist? And then when you're an adult, you realize, well, that does sound
Okay, Tectone. Would you ever like be willing to do like a conversation about communism? Nope. He wouldn't because he doesn't know what it is. He's never read anything about it. He has no at least like the kids, they're like LARPing as communists or whatever the fuck. At least they seem to. Okay, because I was that kid, right? All the other kids I was around, you know, read the literature, understood what Marx thought communism was or how he defined it, right? You could not do that. Okay, these kids are going to be more educated than you. You may have arrived at some of the same conclusions I have, but that would just be by chance. That would just be by virtue of like you sucking for other reasons that would lead you to the same conclusion I have been led to, right? But they're more educated than you.
very good, but unfortunately, corruption exists, and this can never succeed without its errors in the modern life due to corruption and bad people. Bad people will always put the political leaders and all of the governors and all of the presidents and all of the figureheads above all of their citizens, thusly resulting in a dictatorship where all the higher-ups have all of the money and all of the citizens have fucking nothing, and there's no way to break out because communism sure as fun, which is why it's...
So actually, to be fair to Techie, right, that is kind of the... You know, that is kind of the problem with like Marxist-Leninist societies, right? The bureaucracies, right? The inequality in the sense of like the bureaucracy versus the general populace, and like the lack of representation for the general populace, which was a, you know, bastardization of what Marx had wrote. But I reached the conclusion, right? It is, you can say, oh, that wasn't real communism, and that would be true, but you can also say, you know, real communism and the path to achieve it as Marx defined it is, you know, not achievable.
Really not that good of an idea. Now, I want to relate that to the left versus the right. Now, if you Google, and go ahead and have fun with this, you can Google this. If you Google the average age of a liberal, or the average age of a libtard, or the average age of a left-leaning individual, you will find out that they are amongst the youngest of any type of political identifier that exists here on Earth today. And
also, other statistics about liberals, higher intelligence on average, tend to be more educated. What else? I will say, okay, there are cons to both sides, okay? Although a study found that conservatives are less intelligent on average, they are less prone to mental health conditions than liberals, okay? Let's just be fair. We'll be fair to both sides. But yeah, I mean, like, the libs kind of own you, bro. The libs kind of own you.
the reason why that is due to the fact that they believe in this very fun fantasy land that can never fucking exist. They say, oh, we want to progress. We want to be new. We want everybody to be able to do whatever they want with their bodies and their life.
I actually agree. I think a big problem amongst like when you go like far lefty is like being like too utopian. And like although I admire like the ideals that they seek to achieve, right? I believe in like real change and like working with what we have and like actually getting stuff done instead of like talking about doing a revolution for the rest of my fucking life. So yeah, like from a pragmatic perspective, I just like totally disagree with all these people. But in regard, you know, their ideals are admirable to some extent.
And while that sounds very good, unfortunately that leads to hold up. Mango! Fuck, he's chewing on a stick and he's chewing on an acorn. Hey, buddy, look at this. Look at this. Look at this, puppies. Oh, you're such a good listener. Come here. Oh, look at this, baby. You're a good boy. I know. Your dad looks like a wife beater. I know. I need to grow my beard back so I can look friendly again. I look gay.
Dad looks like a rapist.
Very nice, but everybody do what they want with their bodies. That leads women by the time that they're 19 years old to have slept with 100 different men. Their pussy be, you know, about as stretched out as an Asmongold video, and the amount of cum inside their vagina being more than a Heinz mayonnaise jar. As well as them thinking, you know what I'm going to do when I grow up? I'm going to be an OnlyFans girl by the time... Like, there's like 13-year-old girls with OnlyFans being their career route. Do we all not see what the fuck's...
Huh? Where is this guy? Huh? What did this guy just say? Hold on. What did this fucking guy just say?
wrong with OnlyFans girl by the time... Like, there's like 13-year-old girls with OnlyFans being their career route. Do we...
Oh, career route. Okay. Wait. Huh? I thought he was saying that there were like 13-year-old girls with like OnlyFans as their career. I'm like, what? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all.
y'all not see what the fuck's wrong with that? We got little kids saying, you know, I played with the truck one time. Maybe that means I'm a boy. Then we have little boys saying, well, I sure enjoy playing.
Yeah, man, this is an issue that's actually like happening all over the place. So true, so true. Let's devote all our time and resources to something that like is almost never fucking happening. True.
Playing with Barbie dolls. Oh my God, why is my mom chopping off my penis? Like,
where is this happening? Why are these people thinking about kids getting their fucking penises chopped off? Where is this happening? They live in like an alternate reality. It's like some alternate fucking reality that I don't know. It's like maybe like the two dimensions collided and merged, like some Mandela effect type shit. But like this isn't happening. This isn't happening.
Guys, hello? What in the fuck are we doing when we are this tolerant to where little children, 8-year-old boys, are getting injected with life-altering chemicals to change their fucking genetic code? I mean, Jesus Christ, guys, there are people who have lost their jobs because
maybe I'm off on the science. I don't think that it's not CRISPR technology to be. First of all, I don't agree with using hormones on 8-year-olds for like gender transition purposes or whatever the fuck, obviously, right? But that's not how that works. That's just like that's not how that works. Wait, I'm sorry. This guy thinks they're injecting kids with I don't know, God knows, I mean their DNA is being rewritten. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Also, to be clear, right, in regards to gender-affirming care for minors, which is something obviously I just don't think is a good idea, right? I'm pretty sure isn't it puberty blockers that's like the only in like the United States that's like the only piece of gender-affirming care that's utilized for minors right now. And there's like some debate as to what the permanent implications of puberty blockers on their own can be. I don't know what the case is for hormones. I don't know how young they give those. In regards to like bottom reassignment surgery like this guy's talking about, I don't think that happens for 8-year-olds.
They said there's two fucking genders. There are people who have lost their jobs because they said men can't give birth. I mean, Jesus. Well, now that I'm cosplaying
Where?
Hatsune Miku, I'm gonna sue you if you don't legally refer to me as Hatsune Miku.
This guy's like, the extent of his political knowledge is literally like libs of TikTok and like Fox News. Okay, I told you, if I was at my grandparents' house, I'd watch Fox News just to see, what the rave is about, and it would be like, next up, we're covering a woman who identifies as a plant, and they're like covering some like random like fucking TikTok like nobody who like was like I don't even know, but it was like this is news.
Sorry, princess. Sorry, Steve. That's not how the fucking world works. Jesus. And it's fucking embarrassing how long people have lived underneath this oppressive boot. Dude, I remember 2019 through 2024. Holy fuck! If you didn't appeal yourself to the fucking extremist left-wingers, you didn't have a career. I remember this one time.
No.
I had this girl, she came into my chat, and she was telling me about how she's been gaslit by her boyfriend. And I heard her out, and I said, you know what drives me?
Yeah, but you guys are the fucking same. Like, yeah, I think it was, like, actually, like, the shittiest fucking thing on earth when people were, like, getting their lives ruined for, like, 10-year-old tweets, right? I think that sucks. I think that, especially, like, the adults, like, to posture over the people that find themselves in those situations, doing stupid shit is a part of growing up. And because of the nature of social media, the stupid shit you do as a kid is memorialized, right? And if that's the case, like, I just think it's, like, such an unrealistic perspective to try to, like, ruin people's fucking careers over, like, dumb tweets and shit. They said as, like, obviously, that went way too far. With that being said, okay, when Roseanne Barr is referring to, like, is like replying to a black staff member of like the Obama cabinet saying that she looks like she came from Planet of the Apes. I think that's valid for a company to not want to work with you over that. I think that's fine, okay? But if it's like a case of like 10 years ago, you said some edgy shit, and it's like if they have to go back and like the worst shit you said was 10 years ago, that's probably a good sign. That's like a good sign that like what they have to work with is from 10 years ago. They can't pull up anything recent.
Crazy. Not referring to you, by the way. When people misuse those words gaslighting, because I don't really think people know what that word actually means. Because I was on a tangent about words that people use incorrectly. And because this person's feelings was so hurt, because they thought I was referring to their situation, I got like 80,000 hate comments. Because feelings ruled the world over logic and facts.
So true. So I agree with him. I agree with him. And this isn't just on the right, by the way. There's a reason that Trump is in office. Okay, there's a reason. Trump, the Republicans have locked down the peripheral route to persuasion, the appeal to emotion, the propagandizing. They do it very well. Okay, very fucking well. And that like emotion drove people to vote for this guy, right? But at the same time, emotion drove people to not vote for him or to not vote at all, in the way of like, like the situation in Gaza, the fucking like, crime of the century. That's, well, not of the century, one of the crimes of the century, right? Probably in the 21st century, probably one of the most like well-documented crimes perpetuated by an internationally recognized state, right? I get that when you see videos of like Palestinian kids with their fucking legs blown off and shit, and hear that like Biden isn't going and like, doing an embargo on fucking Israel and shit, that sucks. Okay? That sucks. You get mad at the guy. I don't blame you for being mad at the guy, but you have to understand that's not a reason to then say the situation in Gaza is bad. Let's just like not vote. Doesn't matter who wins, which means we're going to hand the vote over to the Republicans and make it fucking worse. Okay? Let's just like make it worse for them. That makes no fucking sense.
What the fuck are we doing? Do you really want to live your life according to your woman's period? You know how much dumb shit women say when they're bleeding out of their vagina? A fucking lot. And that's why rooting yourself in reality and saying, well, babe, I understand that you're upset, but that simply didn't fucking happen. And I'm not going to apologize for some bullshit that didn't fucking happen. It's comical. We are living in a world where younger children are very active on social media, where they're very reactive. You have the slow, logical part of your brain, and you have the fast...
I don't think... I mean, unless, like, she has, like, some sort of, like, psychotic disorder, which men can get too. I don't think, like, periods are making women, like, remember things that never happened. I don't think that's how, like, a period works.
Reaction, emotional part of your brain. And we live in a fast fucking world where big, outrageous reactions get way more clicks than the article that's posted 3 days later with what actually had happened.
My understanding of it is you're just, like, a little more emotional. That's my, like, core, but you're not, like, fucking, like, psychotic and shit.
That is where everything is going to the wayside, because there's so... misinformation is a...
Check inbox? I don't know. I just don't really know a lot about, like, the biology of women. I don't really care to learn. Aiden's inbox. Where's the shit? Oh. We stan. So much better than Techie. We stan. Guy who learned about... Did anything I... Like, what about, like, the way that I just... Saying, I don't know a lot about women's biology. Saying, I think, right? What about that conveyed that I'm an expert to you? What about any of, like, the language I purposely decided to use would convey I'm an expert? If that's what you took away, like, you're just like a fucking moron.
Reading ground right now. It's insane.
It's your... I have the same tone. I have the same tone for... People are like, Aiden, you're talking like a know-it-all. You're talking like a try-hard. This is literally just how I talk. I'm not even thinking about it.
How many lies get away with the public? It's insane how many content creators have allegations that simply just don't fucking exist. I mean, I want to make this clear, guys.
They do. I mean, and it certainly didn't help that you, like, verifiably lied in your response to said allegations, and that when you realized that a party you were talking to was very well educated on the nature of your allegations, you shut down and showed a total unwillingness to speak with him, Shamu, right? Face Shamu in the debate. That certainly didn't help either.
You to hear about this. some girl got sad one time and lied about a creator because he broke up with him, and now his career's over because one person lied. Because people hear that lie and they run with it so fucking quick before they listen to anything. It is. By the way, there's this one really fucking ugly political. I can't tell if you're a guy or a girl. I really got no idea. I don't know what your name is, but you react to every single one of my videos. So can you just say, like, are you a boy or a girl? I really can't fucking tell. It's
I've been told, and I'm not like, I don't know how, I'm not saying this is like not a joke. I've been told this is about food shops.
one, like, it's like this one ugly troglodyte. Sorry, this fucking, hey, buddies. He's eating rocks. There's this one really ugly, like, troglodyte, like, hobgoblin. You look like kind of Asian, and you always react to my videos. And I always look at this, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Can you just clarify what the fuck you are? Because you're so fucking ugly, I can't even tell.
You know, food shops might be like some like weird pedo freak, but like food shops doesn't like pass that bad, right? Like it's not like I can look at this person, tell this person's like obviously like, you know, female presenting or whatever the fuck. Okay? Like it's not like I can't tell. It's not like one of those people where they have like long hair, wearing a dress, but then also have like a full fucking mustache on. Then I actually can't tell.
That's coming from me. But I'm sure everybody here knows I'm a white male, an ogre at that point. So we live in a world where the youth is currently ruling, and they don't have the pattern recognition.
I learned she was like, I've never seen like somebody identifying as a male that presents himself like food shop. Maybe, I don't know.
That the older folks have. They don't understand the destruction and the despair and the doom and the downfall.
Like if you just don't like transgender people, just like be honest about it. But like, I mean, you could obviously tell looking at this person that they identify as, you know, a female or whatever. If you don't want to acknowledge that because you have some like weird thing about transgender people, like, okay.
Of our nation that they are going to bring when they celebrate what they celebrate.
But like the fake confusion is like so gay.
When they act what they do because they have no knowledge, they have no wisdom, they have no life experience. And they're the type of people who think that positively reinforcing your friend when they're the one who fucked up just because they're sad was the right thing to do. No, the right thing to do when your friends fuck up is to hold them accountable. That way they don't make...
True. So fucking true. But Techie only likes to be the one holding people accountable, not vice versa.
That issue again. You are not a good friend because you reinforce someone because they're sad. And if you can't tell someone the truth, you're a horrible fucking friend. And that is the reality. You are not good because you get to tell everybody, do whatever you want. No, you're horrible. This leads to enabling psychotic behaviors. And I'm sorry, anybody who says yes...
Plants, thanks so much for the 5. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you too, Plants. Very nice message. Very nice. Yeah, so sick. So cool.
Whatever the fuck you want to do, and you're enabling their mental illness. If you go up to a schizophrenic and say, yes, listen to the voices. Are you a good person? No, absolutely not. There's a lot of mental illnesses on this earth that you clearly tell people to not...
I don't care about this. This guy is just like, it's just somebody who like, Cheetah does the same thing. Like you want to talk to a bunch of like, he's like the kids in class being like, I think I'm a good... That's literally your whole audience. It's literally like 15-year-olds that are gonna, your Tectone will be what like the 2016 does anyone have that like one big drawing where it's like all the anti-SJWs like together? It like Tectone will be how we look at like the anti-SJWs and like Leafy, right? That's what it'll be to these kids. They'll be like, I fucking watched that. Holy, I listened to that. That's what the fucking Andrew Tates and the Tectones will become. Andrew Tate's already irrelevant, but like the fucking Tectones will become to these kids. We know you. I would not hit Tectone. It's a strange comment.
Listen to, but there's one that people really say, yeah, listen to those voices. And we all know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, by the way, folks, I gotta tell you this. Some of you are Parry enjoyers, and Parry asked for me to help him with his channel, right? And I had a great conversation with Parry on the beach where I essentially poured my heart out with advice, trying to get through to him, and he, you know, took that advice and laughed at it and crumpled it up in my face, and now he's asking me for help. Fine, right? So I decided, or he suggested to me, which I thought was a great idea, and it's a good sign if he knows what's going to be good content, that I do this on stream. So Chud was telling me in a call once that he used to have this like series idea or whatever. I don't know if he actually ended up executing it and then canceled it, called Streamer Nightmares, where it was essentially like kitchen nightmares, but he was like looking at other streamers' stuff. So for those of you that want me to see the best of Parry or things you want me to review in regards to Parry's, that's going to be at the end. Okay, that's going to be at the end. We're going to do a full Parry channel review. You and Parry had, it was not romantic. If you thought there was romance involved, I would look like an abuser.
Well, you're not a good person if you do that. You're just not. You're not. You need to understand.
You're not that guy. Why are you sitting like, bro thinks he's L. Bro thinks he's L. You're not. You're not L. L owns you, little bro. All right, well, we're done with that. Great stuff, Techie, happening on your break, right? I don't know who's watching this, but, we have got a... Okay, so we have, apparently, in regards to the horrific stabbing, I agree the stabbing is horrific, but people like Tectone are using it to push, like, some fucking narrative about, like, white persecution, right? The horrific stabbing, right, should have never fucking happened, like, horrible, she did not deserve to lose her life, of, Irina Zarutska, I think her name, I might not be saying it correctly, but DaBaby, apparently, made a song and an accompanying music video?
Surveillance of the night. Irina Zarutska.
I don't... Okay. I wasn't expecting that to be in the replies. I will have to cut that from the VOD. Thank you.
Enters the blue line at the East-West Boulevard station stop. You can see she takes a seat directly in front of DeCarlos Brown.
Am I gonna get fucking DMCA'd for this, by the way, live on air?
The suspect. At first, nothing seems unusual, but 4 minutes later, he pulls out what appears...
Okay, Hubert, new rule, okay? Instead of 24-houring you and then the expectation is you've changed, you're actually just going to be hidden, and you have to prove to me you deserve to be in my chat. That's the default.
Appears to be a pocket knife, and suddenly stabs Zarutska multiple times. Zarutska then collapses.
Okay, I'm not going to watch it because I'm going to get DMCA'd, but apparently he did like a music video where it's actually him on the bus and he's like saving her. So cool stuff from DaBaby. Now, speaking of, which unfortunately you just saw, honestly, if I could, I would not cut that from the VOD. I would, but I would be fine showing it in a more appropriate context. I think it's like ridiculous to not be allowed to show, you know, images of historical lynchings. But, you know, speaking of that very subject, some conservatives promoted a song that has some lyrics that sound oddly familiar or reminiscent of history, and watch me just remember it and not say, oh no, I saved it this time. So there's like these like pro-Trump rappers, not Tom McDonald, but this other guy, he's like really fat. He made this he's the guy that did like the Target Woke diss track. He made a country song, okay? And I just want you to listen to the lyrics.
Short piece of rope, hang them up high at sundown, leave them swinging so the folks all know you don't mess around in our town. A big tall tree and a short piece of rope, hang them up high at sundown, leave them swinging so the folks all know you don't mess around in our town.
Also, these aren't just like, they basically all are far right, but these aren't like your far right, like these are like, this guy's met Trump. These are like, you know, conservative fucking rappers or whatever the fuck. And it like never occurred to them it never occurred to them what this sounded like, but also emphasizing things like leaving by sundown. Okay? For those of you that don't know what like a sundown town was, it was like places where black people were like, it was like, I guess, unofficially enforced. They were supposed to be out of town or not out by sundown, or they'd risk things like getting lynched. Is it just like never occur? I guess they're just like mask off. I don't know, dude. Yeah, of course they knew. They all know what they're fucking doing. They're just getting more comfortable with it, I guess. I wonder, like you could tell, you could always like see behind the conservative veneer of like what the actual, biased, racist sentiment is. But they still do this thing, right, where they still try to add layers to it where they don't have to overtly omit to said racism. I wonder how long it's gonna be where they just shed those layers entirely and are just like outright saying it. Because when like the DEI fucking scare was happening or whatever the fuck, and they were just accusing every fucking black person in a position of power of being DEI, that was literally just a coded way of like they make it about, oh, this means they didn't have the qualifications. DEI, by the way, doesn't mean we hire people without the qualifications. Those people were qualified, right? But also to immediately assume if DEI is synonymous with unqualified and not fit for the job, to immediately assume that every black person you see in power or in a occupational position is not qualified for the job, et cetera, not going to be good at the job. Like, I don't understand the mental gymnastics you could go through to explain how that's not racist. Some of them were literally just unqualified. Okay, well, it's good to get a black person's perspective on this, albeit the black person in question has said some very strange things about how much he hates black women. I was just curious, can you, like, give an example of those, like, people that just were not qualified to be in the job that got in purely by virtue of some, like, characteristic where DI policies would be applicable? Anyways, I'm a meritocracy type of. I'm sorry. Where does like a DI and meritocracy are not necessarily antithetical, right? You still would get considered for hiring based on your merit and qualifications. There would just be a consideration of applicants from certain backgrounds that were previously just like disregarded or overlooked. No, I don't remember names. I just remember situations. That's a great like thing to base your worldview off of. Well, we got a flamenco TV retrospective by Liquid
We
Sonic.
come from the
Streaming right
Bloodsports.
now, so
Okay, flamenco TV retrospective number 800,000. We're gonna check this out. Just for all of you who have forgotten, I was the day one detractor of flamenco. I was shunned for it. I was treated like dirt. And I was temporarily out of the house, even though I'm fully out of the house now. I was temporarily out of the house over my comments about flamenco at the time.
You come
I'm
from the
streaming
Bloodsports.
right now, so I don't know about that, dude.
Yeah, you're streaming right now. No one cares, dude. No one cares because you're sensitive. Because
Okay.
you're a loser.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
Flamenco is somebody that's had a pretty tough career. He's a VTuber, I guess, if this model counts as VTubing, and despite at times being well connected, having associations with Augie RFC, The Killstream, and Mr. Metica, he is now known as an embarrassing failure due to his many mishaps and public fallouts. If you're aware of these guys I've listed off, you won't be surprised.
Listen, I love Augie. Having association with Augie RFC, like in your like initial like descriptor, is gonna be like a horrible sign. Okay, I've always said this to Augie, and Augie admits it. This guy will literally befriend anyone. I will see the most deranged, unhinged fucking account on Twitter, and it is like never fails. There will always be followed by one person. It will be Augie RFC every single fucking time.
Flamenco liked to see himself as the edgy type. He was the type of guy that thought he was really special because he read Kiwi Farms threads and watched anime. But these interests Flamenco had became obsessions, leading him down some dark and unsavory paths. And looking through his career, I think a pretty good blueprint can be laid out for how to not act online.
Hey, Flamenco, leave them kids alone.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
Flamenco
Sleepy is right. What am I debating him on right now? I haven't prepared for. Listen, Chronic, I know you're very offended about the comments he had made. I would be too, probably, if I was in your position. Despite people that are now saying that Chronic, do you feel like I have ever been prejudiced to you by virtue of your Indian ancestry? Because people are fucking retconning history right now, and I need it on the record. I need it on the record. People are saying I banned you from the server because you were Indian. You did make Indian jokes when I made Brazil jokes. Okay, I made jokes. Did you ever feel like my jokes crossed the line into genuine prejudice against you? Did you ever feel like I was genuinely prejudiced against you by virtue of your ancestry and not merely banter back and forth? No? Did I ever call you the J slur? Did I ever, this is the new thing as well. I called you the J slur and then banned you. Did I ever use that term to refer to you? What do you mean? You don't remember? I'm so done. I'm so fucking done, man. I'm so done. We have the, show me the logs. Send me the fucking message ID. Show me the logs.
TV was a commentary, politics, and anime streamer, so a triple threat
I
of
don't use that word.
potential predator genres. He first became known to many through the Kill Stream, a blood sports live show hosted by Ethan Ralph.
The singular force, the Ralpha male.
Now, I'll be honest, I watched a very small amount of the Kill Stream whilst Flamenco was a co-host, and I am just going from memory, but it did seem like he really looked up to the people there. He was a right-wing otaku outcast, and this is a place that he could be himself. You know, he could allude to conspiracies about the he could talk about his anime shit with Gator, and this was an avenue to get noticed by his idol.
First of all, it's such an unfunny fucking word. I don't even know what it means, okay? And it's overused to death. Second of all, I've made it clear that slurs in place of a joke are generally not funny. I don't use that word. I haven't called Chronic that word, and please, anyone, pull up the fucking logs.
Provocative content creator here on YouTube, Mr. Metica. So he became loyal to Ralph, and even had some wins, such as setting up the infamous debate with
I'm
Vosh.
sorry, I gotta turn on the fucking air conditioning, bro. It is getting hot as shit in here. Dude, why is it, like, I have, like, there's, like, a ghost. It's the ghost of my still alive grandma possessing my fucking air conditioner, dude. It doesn't matter how hot it is, she's always cold, and, like, it's fucking 95 degrees outside. She cranks the heat up to 75. Oh, shit. Sorry, I just shattered a glass. One sec. Alright, I'm back. I stepped on said glass with my foot, and there's a piece of glass in my foot, but who gives a fuck?
Where Vosh let rip the tactical N-word.
I'm doing good. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty great, actually. How about you?
Flamingo, I'm doing good. Flamingo says you're a communist.
I'm an anarchist, but they're pretty close. We don't need to split hairs. Political violence was the topic Flamenco originally brought to me when we considered going on the kill stream, and that seems to be a pretty hot one.
If you aren't aware of what this video is, a word of warning, don't watch it in public.
Dude, you can just say
And I am also obligated to virtue signal and say that Vosh is a disgusting creep. There are no winners on this side of the internet. Anyway, this talk was a
Aiden criticized Kash Patel for calling out a PETA. When did I ever do that? When did this, like, ever happen? Please, tell me. Tell me when this happened.
complete shit show. And it also led to Flamenco displaying some deranged behavior.
Back when I was streaming on Twitch, they like spam messaged me, and I just thought they were
Are
random.
are we really just gonna do this game now, where it's like, remember when, and then just like insert something that literally never happened, there's no verifiable evidence of, but everybody accepts this fact anyway because it involves me? Well, you want to play that game? We can fucking play that game, okay? And I'm not gonna do it now because it's gonna be too obvious, but give it a week, Chronic, and I will be spreading rumors that you were DMing a 15-year-old.
Like alt-right neuterino, you know?
That's a joke. To be clear, that's a joke.
And they came on stream one time, we talked.
You see, Vosh is a very hateable person, but Flamenco does.
So mad. I am mad. I am mad. I am upset. I am mauling. I am fuming. I am a homicidal maniac with suppressed rage that's gonna burst any day now. And yeah, you should like generally probably you know put me on a watch list. But problem, issue, concern, quarrel, contention, disagreement.
doesn't enjoy hate-watching or A-logging people. He sits there getting very upset about the creator.
It's so fucking difficult. It's so fucking arduous to be like, oh, somebody's pushing back against me. So
And in Vosh's case, since he had him on Discord, Flam would message him snarky gotchas regularly whilst he was streaming.
By
Embarrassing.
the way, I just got a notification his streams. I don't know why I'm still friends with this guy on Steam. That Flam is now playing Blue Archive.
For Flam, Vosh got bored of this and stopped replying to him, but Flamenco didn't stop messaging Vosh.
Got June 2nd, June 5th, June 8th, June 9th, June 10th, June 14th, and June 18th. So, so he's committed. He's committed, you know. And most recently, and this is my favorite one. He's actually gone like 2 months and 40 messages without a response from me. If we go down, yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a bit schizo, but I couldn't help but notice this. You can see him here messaging, "I'm glad I could help." This is Metica's catchphrase. This guy would get made fun of for being a copy of Metica, even in the way he speaks. He actually would go.
Well, yeah, because oh, dude, bro, Flam, no, dude, he's like basically, he is like, he's got. It's not high functioning with him, bro. It's like he watches. He's got like a Cheeto syndrome. Okay, I never watched Medicare. I've been shown segments of his by Augie and Nick, but I was never like a big Medicare watcher that like picked up on his speaking styles or whatever. But I did hear that like Flam was like skinwalking this guy so fucking hard. 5 from Patrick. Aiden, we already know you. Okay, that is not true. That is not true. I think it would be very easy for me to sit here and start doing like looking at the fucking Indian scammer videos, or if someone suggested a video about, and I didn't fucking watch it because I think that the Indian hatred, the sentiment underlying it, is not founded in reality. Okay, if I'm talking to an Indian person that is like making like its banter on like a racial or national context, I'll make jokes, right, with them individually, but I don't reinforce that on my stream because I think that there is a huge fucking rise in anti-Indian sentiment, and even if you're just like one of the people hopping on the train because it's like for the jokes, in this case specifically, it is like there is underlying genuine prejudice to it.
To anime conventions cosplayed as the guy. This is f***ing ill. And here he is, using his catchphrase whilst being ignored by Vosh. But this is not the worst Vosh has on him. See, Vosh has his own website, and it has
and it's just like unfunny. Okay, I'm not gonna be the guy that's gonna sit here and tell you there's not like funny Indian jokes. Just like there's funny jokes by any other group or whatever. But it's like, dude, it has been months at this point, okay? It's like literally been months. The AI generated images were kind of funny, okay? I'll say it. I'll say it. You know what isn't funny? The like do not redeem shit. Like I hear like fucking broccoli head 17-year-olds repeating that shit in public. It's not funny anymore. I don't think that one was ever funny.
in chat for whilst he streams, and Vosh figured out that many accounts such as Far Left Chud, Kiwi Farms Will Rise, and Liquid Vosh were all Flamenco alts. And look, I understand this is giving Vosh a W, but it's Flamenco's fault.
But that's not all. These people have separate Kiwi Farms accounts. Do you want to see something truly glorious? Holy shit. Here's Far Left Chud, aka Flamenco, responding to an instance in which Pig Puncher, our good friend Pig Puncher,
Yeah, because like Flamenco, and I've always said this is cool when you have like the autist that like locks on to somebody and becomes like so spiteful he starts A-logging everything they do. Like that can be really cool, like the unhinged like autistic freak, like how Shamu is with Tectone. Except like Flamenco does it and it's not cool. He just like seems really like fucking mad. He just seems like really like angry. And Flamenco isn't cool when he's angry. He just sounds like a bitch. Look in a mirror. I did actually before. I really liked what I saw. Oh, broccoli head? I'm not getting... Okay, the difference between me and these types is I'm like one of the fucking Adidas wearing fucking tracksuit roadmen that's getting like short sides, purposely permed on top. I just wear my hair naturally, okay? And yes, my hair is curly, okay? It looks like the type of hair people perm to get. But it's not a purposeful thing. If I could make my hair straight, I'd make it straight, or I'd make it wavy, actually. I think straight hair is boring.
Called out Flamenco for having a lot of faults. Far Left Chud says, Pig Puncher is doing his usual Flamenco IP brands after he got trolled. And then Flamenco responds, what did
Your head
I
looks like a block, very original. Now, wait, next you're going to say I look like Brittany Simon. We got a real Joker in the house.
We do now. Far Left Chud responds, someone trolled him with a username called Zoe Quinn is a liar, and he thought it was you. We pulled the IP addresses. It was him. They're the same person.
Truly shameful stuff. Like, this is in no way cool. This is in no way funny. It looks like the only reason Flamenco is doing this is to stroke...
True. He's like, it can be cool to be like a hateful, like vindictive freak, but he's just so mad.
His own ego after he gets mad about an annoying lefty content creator. And I'm kind of guessing here, but I think the reason why nothing come of this is because the Killstream crowd inherently distrust Vosh and at the time liked Flamenco, even though Ralph did start to make digs of Flamenco on occasions.
Imagine the state you would be in if you started on time, Ralph. You'd be fucked.
Dude, all of Ralph's like former co-hosts have all just like proven themselves. I don't really know all the Ralph lore, okay? I've known him. I know he like believes in some bad shit. He's been relatively respectful to me, but all of his co-hosts that I've known of have just become leagues worse than him. Dude, you have this like gator freak that's like retweeting and like defending accounts like the Fallen Shadow person who is marketing themselves as they're portraying a child. They're trying to portray a child, and if you look at their comments and filter to newest, it's all people watching to get off on it, right? He's defending that kind of shit, hanging around those communities now, and then he like came back with some like apology over. I don't know what the fuck that this guy's like a fat weirdo. Okay, then you have like Flamenco, who's like this like weird like gooner like autistic freak that like just sucks at everything, right? Like not good at a single thing in his life. I mean, he literally bragged about getting C's in community college, saying C's get degrees, and he's been in. By the way, community college you go to get an associate's or transfer. He's been in community. He was at that point in time. He had been in community college for like 5 years. 5 years. Besides the fact. And then you have fucking Randbot, who's like, he's like some alcoholic, like, you know, like he's hanging out with like the lolicon, like, you know what's worse than like an actual fucking like Nazi? A fucking lolicon like pedo Nazi, bro. Those guys are so fucking weird on Twitter. He's like hanging around appealing to them. This guy was in the Australian army, and he lost his first battle before he left basic training to a fucking ammo crate, which fell on his head, and he's on disability payments for life. And this is the same guy, by the way, who admitted to me in the course of a debate. By the way, extremely anti-Semitic. His wife is obviously Jewish. He likes to deny that. He's been called out on it several times. But this is the same guy who admitted to me in the course of his debate that he had shown his, I believe it was a 6-year-old son, footage from the Christchurch massacre to like, because he thinks it's like based or whatever the fuck. How is that not like, how does that not constitute child abuse, by the way? Like, to me, that's like just as bad as like if like a dad like pulls a 6-year-old kid up and shows a 6-year-old kid porn. Like to show him like video of like people getting like fucking like gunned down, like massacred and shit. And like, how are you, that's like also incredibly traumatizing.
Imagine if anybody cared about you, Flamenco.
I know, right?
You would have no audience because that would have never happened. But anyway, we love you. We love you here. We love you here, though. We love you here.
Here we are at the point where Ralph was brutally embarrassing himself with pill streams,
Of course, Spinal BJ is arguing that it isn't abusive.
where he was mixing Xanax and alcohol to such an extreme, it's impressive he even managed to go live, and Flam was here looking out for the guy.
So what do you want to do going forward with this? Do you still have stuff going on with your family that you want to maybe take some time off and deal with? Because me and Gator can keep the lights on for pretty much as long as you need, buddy.
Yeah, I haven't decided.
Buddy, dude, we got that from it. We still have, like, for those of you that were around 2 years ago, we took, like, all the flamisms, bro. Like, okay, buddy, keep sweeping for fatty. Dude, that's flamenco. The keep sweeping for fatty. Toki is essentially, like, the diplomat of, like, flamenco English, because Toki was, like, using, like, all flamenco. It would be, like, copy and paste in the chat, but, like, the keep sweeping for fatty double stuffed Eoria, that's, like, all flam. He gave that to us.
But eventually, like everybody does, Flamenco fell out with Ralph. I'm not sure when the bridge actually burnt, but it just seems like an inevitability for everyone that knows Ethan Ralph. Even his most loyal servants.
What vape flavor? Apparently they don't even sell geek bars anymore, so it's just, they just basically resold it under a new brand name where I'm probably inhaling, like, toxic lead. Gee whiz. And it's literally just a geek bar, and the flavor is, Miami mint. I don't think mint, they don't grow mint in Miami, do that. Something tells me this might not be real mint.
Gator Gamer broke free from the grip of his little trotters eventually, but this didn't turn out to be an issue for Flamenco. Flamenco could get an audience just covering Ethan Ralph acting so badly, and also Metica had fallen out with Ralph, leading to what I would imagine to be Flam's personal highlight of his career.
Oh, hello? Oh, hello. How's it going, sir?
Oh, just waiting with bated breath.
I know.
That's an amazing intro.
Yeah, I threw that together in like 2 minutes, but I thought that was, it worked out well.
Modest. Oh, you're so modest. Oh, that took no effort at all. I mean, Jesus.
It's uncanny, isn't it? This is what I would imagine it would be like to talk to an AI chatbot of yourself.
Level 1 versus level 79. Somebody practicing, haven't they?
Practicing.
But anyway, not
Dude, this is like the one time I realized, like, the monster I created, this, like, she was really sweet. This, like, fucking, this girl came in here to, like, debate Cat on my stream. She was, like, one of the callers. And every time, like, she would be like, what? What? And then she'd be like, problem issue? Like, I'm like, dude, what have I created?
only did Flamenco get to spend time with his idol. This is a very successful stream for him. They got to spend a long time talking about the current drama, and Flamenco thrashed him at Guilty Gear.
Yep.
I took one match in a couple rounds. Yep. I nailed. I nailed to my superior. There you go.
Then Flamenco has to go and ruin it all with this cringe shit.
Oh no, this is a position role now. I get to lead the Chudbud division of the Sweetie Squad. I think that's my official title now.
The Sweetie Squad?
Okay, let me close this out so I can run away from the humiliation.
Flamenco TV was then the leader of the Chudbud division of the Sweetie Squad. How did those words come out of his mouth without him feeling stupid? But you know, he did get to shake the pill bottle in front of Daddy Jim.
Flamenco, can you hear me? Tatingo, you there?
Oh, the unfunny Ralph. I'm not sweeping for Ralph, but it's like, if you found like the pill fucking shit funny, like you're a loser. I don't know what to tell you. You're a complete and total, the pill stream, the gunt. It's like the same meme over and over again for months. We get it. The guy's a fucking drug addict. Like, holy shit. The like laughing at the lol cows types that are all like degenerates themselves. Holy fuck.
I can't hear you.
Flamenco!
Really funny stuff. And Flamenco was riding high off of this.
You made Mr. Mediker from his mouth go, I'm here for the humiliation of being dominated. It was tough. It was tough to watch Daddy Jim be dominated by you in such a fashion. All of us who looked up to him, now you're the new Jim.
But seriously, with this success, Flamenco did make a bit of a name for himself, as he'd also established a niche in covering VTuber drama. The stuff that Flamenco liked to watch was like age-regressed women pretending to be cartoon children for an audience of lonely men in their 30s.
Yes! This person should be banned. This is Fallen Shadow. We covered this on stream once. This is like... There's nothing funny about this person. This is literally somebody that is making videos for pedophiles. They try to talk like a little kid, like in regards to like the wording they're using. That minus the voice changer and shit. Like this account is, and if you go to the fucking comments of this person's videos and go to like newest, it's all people jerking to this. It's like talking about like having her as a girlfriend and like getting off, and it's disgusting, dude. It's disgusting. She has literally done nothing worthy of being. Thank you, Spinal BJ, for the input.
Only foreign country I've been to is the US, and
So it's not really something I am interested in or I'm going to cover. What is important to this story, though, is he also got close with Augie RSC.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Augie RC TV channel. My name
This dude
is Augie RC, and I'm the host of Red Fox Comms.
And started making appearances on his after-hours stream with Nicholas Diorio, Turkey Tom, and Bo Blacks.
Lisa Flamin, is he in there? What's up, Flam?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
This was back in Augie's closeted era, before he was out and proud with his partner Connor, and his earliest collaborations with Flamenco I can find were Among Us and Super Mario Sunshine streams.
Flam, do a Mario impression. Mamma mia! It's me, Mario.
Oh, dude, what did people like? I was literally like a fucking kid, dude, and I'm like, what do people see in this guy? What does anyone see in this? And then the fucking like the droolers, okay, probably some of them are the ones that now inhabit my chat. Were like on Augie's streams hyping this guy up, dude. If you were one of those people that like took you until you found out he was like jerking it to Boy Soprano to like realize what like a fucking uncool loser this fucking guy is. If you at that point in time you were over the age of 20 and like you still like thought he was cool up until that point, you suck.
A trait that Flamenco has that's similar to many other online embarrassing figures is that he has a habit for oversharing when it's absolutely unnecessary to. Here he is openly talking about his attraction to his step-cousin and how this led him into getting into anime, presumably because it was one of her interests.
Yeah, she's related to my stepfather's sister through like marriage or whatever. So it's like it's a weird thing.
But that'd be very awkward for family get-togethers if we marry.
I'm sorry.
I mean, they're not related, right? By blood.
But redheads are just like...
Okay, buddy.
But like, why say that on stream, bro? Why say that shit on stream? Oh yeah, and then he's like, I was never hiding he's like talking about like being in school and he met a girlfriend in one of his classes. He's like 35 fucking years old.
No, I unironically had a crush on her. I unironically had a crush on her.
Whoa, you have a girlfriend!
Wait, remind me again how y'all related?
I had a crush on her when like I was 13. I am related to her.
Remember all the money I offered to get his girlfriend to say one word into the mic and everyone was like sweeping and coping? Well, they could dox her, man. They off of her saying one word. Doesn't have to show her. Doesn't have to, like, literally. All he would have to do is get her to say one fucking word, and he would win the bet. Easiest money ever. She could even obscure her voice a little bit. You could talk through, like, clenched teeth. You could, like, you know, there are ways to obscure your voice and talk a little differently. I wasn't going to be able to dox. Nobody's going to be able to dox her off her saying one fucking word.
Her, because she is my cousin through my stepfather's sister.
Okay. Well, stepfather, so it's not real.
Stepfather.
Yeah, but it's still like it's still cousin by marriage.
Okay, that's
so,
a little bit
yeah.
better though. But like, at least it's not real. It's like.
Well, that's why I said step cousin. Like,
I thought you were talking about real cousin, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, this is like what Ethan, like, there's like, it doesn't sound like there's outs where this doesn't sound as bad, and you're like purposely trying to like add to the story in a way where it sounds as bad as possible for your. I don't understand why people do that.
This is like an unironic, like super hard crush, okay? Like, this girl is like kind of the reason I got into freaking anime, okay?
Oh no, it's her
Damn.
fault. Fuck her, man.
Lolcow Enjoyer, Kiwi Farms poster, doesn't understand that disclosing information such as this on a live stream full of commentary and drama enjoyers is going to lead to it being clipped, discussed, and mocked relentlessly. And Flamenco's obsession with lolcows would seep through into his commentary on other dramas. One time stood out to me on After Hours when the crew were discussing the harassment of Pokimane and whether she got disproportionately harassed compared to male Twitch streamers.
Wait, what is the argument that you guys are having?
That Pokemon's largely uncontroversial, with the exception of like extremely personal cases and like misrepresented drama over the past like 2 years. There's like, really not many big arguments against her.
Yes, it must have been a slow news day, but Flamenco comes in with a comparison that I think sums up this issue I have with him.
By the way, this guy just as bad as
largely
Flamenco.
uncontroversial,
Hold on.
with the exception of like extremely personal cases and like misrepresented drama over the past like 2 years. There's like, really not many big arguments against her.
Yes, it must have been.
This guy has been screaming, treating being called Tommy CP like it is a serious allegation. Okay? For some reason, everything he does is okay. Everything he does, this guy gets infinite fucking passes. What value he offers, I don't know. What value he offers, I don't know. His only life experience is like, and hey, it's better than me military-wise, right? You know, being a part of the military in like post-Saddam Iraq, right? I think in like the immediate fall of Saddam. And then the rest of his life is spent being a fucking deadbeat, you know, living off of like money from his fucking wife and probably the government while complaining about socialism and shit. Like, this guy has no like life experience. His wisdom is fucked because he gets shit laughably wrong. Like his predictions, it is like a fucking like Key and Peele bit. It's like Nostradamus that somehow manages to just like come up with the wrong prediction every time, where it's like the total opposite of what and then he like pretends like it was true. What value does he offer that would lead people like Diorio to sweep for him to this fucking extent?
A slow news day, but Flamenco comes in with a comparison that I think sums up this issue I have with him.
Yo, Cats are flocking with a 20! Holy shit! I already used to play Minecraft with you. Be honest, Aiden. Was there any hint or sign he was committing a group? No. 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 Not even close. No. No.
One of the other things I would say is that I think that there's like a lot of parallels between like Pokimane and DSP, specifically
Okay,
the
bro,
way in which.
hold on, let me finish what I'm saying.
To understand Pokimane's wrongdoing, we must first look back at the career of the great DSP.
I want to know like what's the difference between
Oh my
Pokimane
God,
and
there's no way I'm
Okay,
getting
then explain to me what the difference
Pokemon
is.
and Dark Side Phil is.
Explain to me what the difference is then.
This is like super autistic.
I want to know that. I want to know that. What's the difference between Darkside Phil and Pokimane?
Everything in Flamenco's tiny little box of a world must be understandable through the lens of a lolcow or Kiwi Farms or a Mr. Medica drama. You can see him
True, this is how people like Jar operate. Or the Spectre and
here in
Peaches
Vosh DMs
drama.
claiming that Vosh went full wings. This is not just a funny part of the internet for
Yeah,
Flamenco.
dude, it's these types. I think flamenco is what like created the stereotype in my head of like, and then Mama Oka, whatever his fucking name is, reignited it of like the laughing at the lol cows. If you're keeping up with what people like Dark Side Phil and Wings of Redemption are doing in the Big 25, if you care about Chris Chan and the Big 25 and are looking in their threads on Kiwi Farms in the Big 25, that something has fundamentally gone wrong in your life. You probably have some like trauma that's led to like social maladaptation, and I honestly hope that you address that and get to a healthy get involved in some healthy interests.
This is his world. I think this is a big reason as to why he's just so difficult to listen to. Like, I was a fan of the old After Hours streams. They had some great moments, but this debate in particular was like pulling teeth to get through.
Why would only the first tweet be talking about numbers when I'm specifically...
By the way, if I'm not being glazed as like the actual Nostradamus in this, then Liquid Sonic took an L.
listing examples, Flamenco. So
Because
on
you
top of
literally
it,
said as hard as. That's how English works.
Alright, as far as my cock when I fuck you in the ass in this debate.
No, Nick, you have to make a good point before you do the Destiny like gloating shit.
And I will give Flamenco a W. That was a fairly funny comment. And I do want to sidestep to just talk about Mr. Lips quickly.
He gets like so angered by like the cocky tone that Nick does. Like he gets so caught up and enraged by it.
that's bad, but Flamenco's allowed to say that I'm aping Destiny's talking points the whole debate uncontested. Like I saw people legitimately mad that I made a joke saying I'm gonna fuck you in the ass in this debate or something in the middle of it, but like every one of the Destiny jokes that fucking Flamenco go completely unclaimed.
Yes, he would get very upset about people calling him a skinwalker at this point in time. But I do think we need to give Nick a bit of empathy and maybe even a bit of charitability, because this was around the time that he was by a Eheba cult into thinking he was non-binary.
Yeah, dude, I could like imagine hypothetically fat shaming a non-binary lad like myself. How dare you, Nathan? Susan, as a fat non-binary victim of fucking of.
Excuse me? What? I guess maybe I misinterpreted. He's just presenting a hypothetical.
Body shaming. My video should not have been age restricted, Susan. Yeah, no community is perfect. They're just currently the big bads. If commentary comes out and gets as many stories wrong as they do, and commentary starts f***ing up, I expect other people to start holding us accountable. And I'm not gonna say it's because we're non-binary men. Okay, I'm not gonna like take my my intrinsic trait or whatever and jump behind it like a big human shield. Dude, Damon from Mars walked up to me and he goes, "Hey Nick, you're non-binary, right?" That was the first thing he said to me. I didn't know how to respond. I was like so in my mind. I was like, yeah, dude.
This guy used to knock about with the Killstream lot, and then from a couple years of watching Destiny, he turned into an aspiring hermaphrodite. What the hell is going on there? But anyway, Flamenco and his obsession.
Non-binary is a joke. Guy was a joke. It's a joke. Good joke. Good joke. You don't remember his NB? No, I don't actually. I don't remember why. There were just, you have to remember, like, despite being around for, there's like large gaps in the time I was around. So, no, there are some things I just wasn't there for and don't remember. Like, yeah, I've known some of these people for 5 years, but they're like long-term gaps within those years.
Earlier, we heard Vosh reference that Flamenco is bothering someone called Pig Puncher. This is actually an old alias for Xanderhall.
X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign.
And Flamenco had a much deeper, freakier obsession for him than he did Vosh. It started out as Flam just seeing him as somebody that he could make fun of.
So, this right here is our boy Xanderhall, formerly Pig Puncher.
Oh my! I don't even watch Medicare, and I can't like if you're doing this, you suck. If you like you know the person behind the mic is gonna be like the most like weird autistic fucking loser you've ever seen. If he's like copying every single bit of somebody's like presentation style, his like the way he taught. Oh my god, dude. Because you know what that means? That means he was probably growing up not talking to other people. He doesn't talk to other people in his day-to-day life. So his like frame of reference where he's like developed his vocabulary and like way of speaking and like, it has just come from sitting behind a computer screen.
He's traded one screen name for another. I don't know why he decided that he wanted to sound like a antipsychotic medication, but hey, what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? You gotta follow your bliss. You gotta follow your creative outlets however you need to go.
We can even see President Sunday of all people in the comments of this video taking shots at Flamenco. And he is right, you can't do this above it all cutting critique while sounding a bit anxious and frail. If you aren't aware of who Xanderhall is, he's like a Vosh clone that has the energy of like a really stupid child. And for some reason, Flamenco just...
By the way, if you guys want to be like Cats a Flockin', who gave $20 fucking and support the stream, you can donate through Super Chats. The button is in the chat, and you can also, if you want, donate through Streamlabs, which I didn't have open, so somebody might have donated on, and I just didn't acknowledge it, so I'll check that right now. And if you can't donate, what you also can do is you can like the fucking stream, okay? Stop being so fucking lazy.
Get him out of his head, which this in itself is an L. Xanderhall, I think at most, should be thought of maybe once every few months, just to have a little chuckle at his expense, and then to move on. And I'm going to take it back to Metica once again. Metica would spitball stuff, and he would speculate, and he would comment on such speculations for comedic effect, often to try to get a rise out of his subject. Flamenco would also speculate, but in his case it would lead to him getting so mad that he considered on stream contacting Xanderhall's mother in the hope that she would cut financial ties with Xan.
I'm feeling this out with you guys, because I want to spitball my idea anyway.
Like, if he was, like, saying this ironically, it would be based, but there's, like, no hint of irony in his voice. He's, like, genuinely that enraged that he's considering doing this. Like, this guy's a fucking loser. In every conceivable facet, this guy is a fucking loser. And the fact that the Cabal, the old guard, was willing to take his side over mine tells you everything you need to know about these people. Everything you need to know about them. 5 from Will. No. Oh, well, I'm sorry. You don't want to donate, Will. I'll take your 5 to prove how much you're not going to donate. Much not appreciated.
Doesn't make a whole lot of money on the internet, but he has rent that is like upwards of $1,600 a month. My personal theory is that he is not
he like knows how much his rent, like, dude,
his own income through work or anything, and that he is largely paying his rent through his parents floating his rent bill. This guy's gone on record saying that his mom was mentally and physically abusive towards him. I don't know if his mom knows about that. I'm wondering, should I send his mom all this nasty stuff that he said about her? All I would be doing is I would be sending information about his mom, or about him and what he said about his mom to his mom. Now, I don't know.
Dude, they should have let him do it, because then he would be fair game to go do the same to him, to like actually track down and try to figure out who his girlfriend is and contact her. Okay, so they should have let him do it just so they could have like their justification for going forward and being an unhinged psycho.
Gosh, it would be really funny.
So Flam's theory is that Xanderhall wasn't making enough money online to pay his way and must be being subsidized by his family. So in contacting his mother and essentially telling on him, this might mean that Xanderhall would need to retire his online career and get a normal job. This whole thing kicked off because Flamenco thought Xanderhall might make a video on him, and Flamenco was really threatened by this. But just take a listen to the video that Xanderhall did end up making.
Kiwi Farms is a website that's traced back to the Society of Christorians, people on the internet who, well, there's no other way to put it than
well, yeah, of course, like, the anti-Ralph crowd was the laughing at the lolcows type, and the laughing at the lolcows type themselves are, like, the autistic A-logging losers that are genuinely mad over this stuff. And, like, they're not gonna recognize a fucking loser when they are one in this case. So of course they're gonna be propping this fucking guy up. But I would have expected better from Augie. I would have expected better from Nick. I don't expect better from Augie anymore, considering the people this guy's hung out with. But yeah, dude, I don't fucking know. It's gonna sound egotistical, but out of that whole entire old group, I was the smartest. Easily, by far. Maybe didn't have the most wisdom, may have been the most naive. I was the smartest by far, and the fact that any of these fucking freaks spoke down to me is creates, envy's not the right word, wrath.
Dedicate themselves to stalking, harassing, and documenting a autistic transonic fan on the internet.
How is this guy a threat? Xander Hall has the mind of a child. He can barely read a script. This is the whole game Flamenco wanted to get into by being a budget metaker. And the minute the most harmless sped starts talking about him,
I never leaked that Bo Blacks was fighting his parents in court. That never happened. You can go find the clip. I know what clip you're referring to. I just said he's fighting with his mom. I didn't even know there was a court case. That was brought to my attention by Nicholas Diorio. People found the documents. There's no backtracking. Find the fucking clip. I can't backtrack when it's on video.
He ends up in a heap crying in the fucking corner, having to get his online big brother to calm him down.
Tune in the stream and you're talking about how you want to explain to me what you want to do.
I want to send a letter to his mother about all the really insane, nasty shit that he said about her, and like the screenshots and even video evidence of.
Wait, you want to send his mom shit that he said about his mom?
Yeah.
Why? That's insane.
So Augie did successfully talk him out of doing this, and then he had him on after hours the next day to give him a good telling off.
Just own it, bro. It's not funnier. It's actually not. I would rather you criticize me for the unhinged shit I've done that did happen than just like make stuff up.
Telling
you made a poll?
Mommy and getting him cut off be too far.
This call is very shameful on Flamenco's behalf. He just shows complete subservience to Augie, whilst also weaseling around, trying to make it seem like what he's doing isn't as bad as it is.
Okay. Like you're literally threatening to ruin his life. And you're glowing about it, and you're laughing about it.
I don't think it would ruin his life. I think it would cause minor inconvenience. I think it would cause
minor inconvenience. You're talking about making him lose his job.
I do not think it would cause him to get evicted.
I don't care. You're literally making him ruin it. Like, you're in this clip.
Boring.
Now, there was some level of ambiguity around this allegation. At the time of Flamenco joining these groups, there was no such activity by any of the members. It's been reported that these were normal Steam groups, then after time,
German
Casino.
Steam group allegations. Boring. The Kino Casino somehow, like, fumbled with Flamenco. Like, they had an opportunity to confront Flamenco, and they all, like, totally fumbled. Fumble of the century.
And that's really his main play. It's a really poor showing on Godwinson's part. And this guy, he probably is a bit of a schizo. I don't know all of his lore. But regarding just Godwinson's content, he has made a few banger videos. So this is a disappointing show to watch.
If it's made up, why does because this is what... It's the big lie. If you just, like, say something long enough, people will have a vague memory of it happening because they've heard it's been happening for long enough. Like Nick being like, oh, Aiden had his neo-Nazi arc. Aiden had his... this guy had his fucking... Like, first of all, that never fucking happened. That never happened. My whole life is online. You would have seen that by now. But when you repeat it long enough, people recall it as though it actually happened. It's an incredibly effective strategy.
Watch back. Eventually, they just start prodding Flamenco, trying to get him to freak out. And he keeps us cool.
That's where that thing comes from. There's no posts in that server.
Well, you just want to take a moment and calm down. You sound very agitated.
Well, yeah, I'm a little agitated because you guys are using the most flimsy of evidence to call me a pal.
Well, we can bring up more exhibits.
I don't know how they failed at this, because Flamenco will just freak out on his own.
And that's what I said about Tux. That's what I said about Tux.
I did not debate race realism on the fucking kill stream.
Tux admitted to his sister. No, that's a f***ing threshold.
And with this, annoyingly, it's kind of left up in the air how much of a danger Flamenco actually is. Also in the case against him, there's Boy Soprano. Now, Flamenco would not only browse hentai websites, he would download and upload a ridiculous amount of content to them. And one of the pieces of content that Flamenco uploaded to this website was about a 15-year-old boy. Now, I'm not going to check, but Flamenco actually claimed that he got Bo Blacks to go and read it, and Bo Blacks said it was totally fine.
Boy Soprano.
There's no lolly in there.
There's no.
Nope.
Okay, anyhow.
Oh, if Bo Black says it's okay, well, we're in good hands, don't worry. Seriously, most of the people were very disgusted with what they saw in that thing. That's how come this became a big situation. But this, again, was successfully...
Okay, you're trolling. You're trolling it. I wasn't even logged into that account when that fucking happened. I don't think I had access to that account. Dude, you have to... I think I gave that account, just like the Hooked account, I think I gave the Blazed SMP account to Cyrus for a while. And he, like, just ran the account because we weren't using it for anything.
And weaseled around. And it was not until a new character entered the arena that Flamenco's downfall truly started.
Okay, I have to just, like, stop giving you people what you want, which is a funny reaction.
Now, as Music Lemon proclaims, live streamer and commentary creator Salvo Pancakes is a nasty, rotten individual.
Bye from G's. Aiden, remember the thing that happened but you forgot? Oh, like an unknown? Yeah, dude.
And he would at times go below the belt. But the problem Flamenco had is Salvo's commentary was at times very funny. And when it came to Salvo's Flamenco content, he did nothing worse than Flamenco and his ilk would do on a regular basis. As an observer, this is Flam's greatest arc to witness. You see someone who thinks he's Metica's protege, ex-Killstream host,
They couldn't stand Salvo because, unfortunately, Salvo got a little far in it. But they could not stand Salvo because they knew that Salvo, despite being an unhinged maniac, was more socially adjusted than they were. He could pick up on what a fucking loser flamenco was. They couldn't stand that Salvo was funnier than they were. They couldn't stand that Salvo was owning them in the marketplace of ideas to the point where they literally had a group chat discussing getting this guy's accounts taken down, proposing the idea of fucking killing him. I mean, they couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand this guy.
Kiwi Farms advocate that loves trolling get mocked by someone that is far funnier than he is, leading to a complete meltdown.
Why are you taking Salvo seriously then, dude? Like, come on.
I'm not.
You are. You're giving me
You just don't like being called a by fucking and people laughing it up like it's some fucking joke.
Excellent stuff. So let's take a look at the 2 clips that set this whole thing in motion.
That one hits close
The first
to
clip
home.
features a commissioned song by Mike the Bike.
Hey,
All right, I already know this. Boring. I just want to hear about me.
So I don't know. Well, I mean, that would kind of insinuate like.
I know if they're legal, then it's not. Yeah.
What? I mean, then why even call it out? Why even say barely legal? Why even point out?
Because a lot of people were saying that like it's weird that a like 35-year-old dude is.
Okay, here's
banging
some
a
lyrics from
15-year-old.
MC Jarbo. As the kingpin of the Tornado ring, I'm from the Bible Belt. I get the kids young, and I got my own church.
Boring. Already been over it. Already seen it, done it, been there.
Ran with it, repeating the claim as if it were fact. Aiden Underground confronted him about this, and it's a difficult one, this one, because it can't figure.
Honestly, I think this is why Parry, like, took so many creep shots of me. I didn't account for the fact there was a mirror in the background, and I think he was genuinely just, like, insanely spiteful about the existence of this image. So he was just creep shotting me the whole fucking trip.
Out if he's just being a slimy debate bro trying to get out of a stupid impulsive act, or if this tweet existing has.
Like, I went to go bend over to fucking look at something, and this guy got a picture of my fucking boxers, bro. He took a picture the second I bent over.
Actually created proof information.
Five from Juncture Gaming. The Cabal is still seething about Salvo 3 years later. Maybe they aren't so different. It was the same with me. They knew that I was smarter. They knew that I had more potential than all of them. They knew that they were old, washed up, nothing to show for it. And they still seethe about this. They still know that I'm more intelligent than them. Tommy still seethes that I have not dropped out of college like he did in his first year because he's a failure that can't do anything correctly, including raise a kid. And yeah, so that is people's main gripe with me. They see young intelligence, good looking, by the way, all the opportunity in the world. Okay, passion. He can speak better than them. He can own them in the marketplace ideas. So they run from the call-in, of course, and that is why they hate me, ladies and gentlemen. That is why they hate me. New goal. Thank you, Juncture Game with the $5 fucking dollars. Super bait. Oh, I already read that. Sick. Thank you guys for helping us hit temp goal. We're over halfway to Streamly goal. Can we hit it this time? If we do, I will do nothing because I've learned not to make promises anymore. But it would be very fucking based. I'd even give you a little smile.
Goes well that the allegation is true.
Okay. So I asked for like a tweet with like proof relating to the claim, and this is what you linked to your proof. Do you understand why this is not enough to state something as fact, especially
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
So you think the word of a Twitter user is enough to state something as fact?
I think that it's more evidence than.
By the way, I don't know why people do this. Morale had the same problem. Like, it is so easy, and I've done this many times, especially in my early days of debating, to just say, "You're right. I was wrong. You're correct. You're right." Whoa. You're right. I was wrong. You got me on that one. Like, it is so much easier to do that than to sit there and like defend something you know is just fucking indefensible. Like, you know you're losing. You know you're getting fucking destroyed. And like, you're just it's like a dying animal. Like, why euthanize yourself? Why prolong the suffering? True. Awesome old profile picture. We love Che Guevara here, folks. Okay. I'm not a communist, but we do love Che Guevara. And in before the, dude, this is the response whenever you say anything about any, like, historical leftist figure. He would have killed you. He would have, it's not even just, like, it's literally anyone who talks about it. He would have fucking killed you, man. He would, if I was to believe all the people that talk about Che Guevara, I'd believe that this guy was just, like, a killing machine, bro. Walks into a room, nobody leaves alive. Not even people on his side. Just, people couldn't get in his proximity without being killed.
Claims. That's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking how much evidence she's laid out. I'm asking in your.
Will you be calling Morale and his harassment of 15-year-olds on Discord? I would love to. He didn't pick up last time. I could try him again. I don't remember exactly what the call was, or I remember what the call is. I don't remember the contents of what was said. I just remember that people were coping saying it was Marcus, and I don't think it was Marcus, and the call did look really weird.
Personal opinion, do you think that the word of a Twitter user is enough to state that somebody committed a crime as a fact?
With this one specifically, I think it's a pretty credible allegation.
Okay, I mean, regardless of whether you think it's extremely credible or not, do you understand how it may be like a little bit defamatory to accuse somebody of a crime?
No,
I
don't think it is.
This is your only evidence. Your only evidence is the word of a Twitter
user.
user.
No, it came to light that this is what happened. They can dispute that if they want to, but this is what came to light as a result of Keffels' major.
Yeah, and it came to light that you're a pedophile.
year-old man.
Can you just admit now on stream that you read or you viewed about a 15-year-old?
Yeah, sure, 10 years ago, man. Oof.
How old were you 10 years ago? Sorry, I forgot.
24?
Sorry, you said that, I didn't hear.
24. Aiden, okay.
I'm sorry, it's like a condition.
The late great Tommy C, R.I.P., had some spats with him. And of course,
Great stuff.
Nicholas Diorio drove many nails into his coffin.
Dude, me and Loam used to do tag team debates together. We were great at it, man. We were fucking great at it. We did one with Salvo. Okay, we did one with Salvo. We were gonna start a podcast and shit. God, I miss Loam, man. I miss him. Speaking of him, though, he made some claims that some YouTuber had, like, personally been responsible for DMCAing him, because he played part of the song, and despite, like, repeatedly cutting it out, the copyright claim persisted, despite the fact that this YouTuber is so big that it could reasonably be inferred that his copyright claims are not handled by him, but rather the, whoever manages that shit. It was proven he was with some kind of agency, right? Whoever owns the distributing rights, etc., that was DMCAing it. We had no indication that this guy was personally responsible for it, and I felt like it was, like, really fucking, like, irresponsible to just, like, run, without reaching out to him personally, to just, like, run to your, you know, audience and say it was him doing it, right? When I think it would be very unlikely that it was him doing it, watching your, like, shitter video and being, like, that adamant on getting, like, the little bit of money you made off that video. But
so a few weeks ago,
apparently he responded. Let's check it out.
I put out a video talking about the worst copyright issue I've ever had to deal with in my life before, okay? Where it seemed like this guy was intentionally fucking with my channel at this point and trying to get hundreds of dollars for free from my channel for no good reason.
Let me guess. He didn't do it. It wasn't him. It was the fucking management. Okay, let me guess. It's gonna big shocker.
At all. For using 3 seconds of his song in one of my videos. And funny enough, it's not like this came from any major label, you know, coming from, like, the biggest artist in the world on the Billboard. You know, it wasn't like Sabrina Carpenter's label, Taylor
It did say, when he claimed it, it did say such and such agency or whatever, right?
Swift's or anything. No,
just because he's not fucking Sabrina Carpenter level does not mean he's not, his music and its distributing rights, music which gets millions of views, is not being, like, managed by some company that handles the claims. What are the fucking odds that he's like, the fucking, like, egocentric worldview you have to believe this guy was just, like, personally watching you for what, his name wasn't even in the title. He was just watching you, saw it, claimed it, and then just decided, I'm gonna keep fighting this war against this commentary channel and not give him any money for using 3 seconds of my song. Like, that's obviously, come on, man, it's fucking ridiculous. Filers from Cats Flockin'. Boy Soprano is the nexus point of Bobby's gender euphoria. Flam is the most cursed person ever touched this community. Unfortunately, he's not. There was an Augie fan. Dude, I was like a kid, and people were like, Aiden, we need your help, okay? We need your help, Aiden. In Bo Black's server, there is somebody in the server that is refusing to shower. They haven't left the VC for 2 days. We need you to talk to them. So, not even close.
Hilarious irony in all of this is that it came from a fellow YouTuber. A fellow YouTuber turned musician, artist, I guess, in his own right, who goes by the name of CG5.
Augie fans
who,
are, like, all, like, fucking weirdos, bro. You have this, like, Izzy Tan guy that's, like, taking W's, like, getting in VCs, like, debating 15-year-olds or whatever the fuck. And, like, he's like, yeah, my doctor did diagnose me with sociopathy. Like, he watched, like, a single fucking episode of Sherlock, and he's like, yeah, I'm a high-functioning sociopath. Think he's, like, the shit.
He makes dream videos, dream SMP songs, like Among Us songs. You know, the best way to introduce you to his music is just playing you know, some of his genius work. But unfortunately, I can't. I have to put a blacklist on all of his songs because on one of my videos that I played like 20 different songs on, I used his song for 3 seconds. And because of that, he thought he was entitled to all of the revenue from that video entirely. But if it was just that detail, I wouldn't have went on and made the video. It was because even when I cut out the copyright claim and that I didn't even feature, I bit the bullet and I didn't even feature his song in my video anymore.
All right.
I cut out the 3 seconds and just muted the audio.
Kevin, I've picked up on your game. If you're gonna one guy, because I used to do this to Chud, you have to make it less obvious. You have to space it out, make it... It's too obvious, man. It's too obvious.
The copyright claim would not go away. It still was there, which made it seem like he was just intentionally fucking with me at this point. Like, so it was all these things combined which made me make this video, speaking out about this, and overall just like the bullshit fair use system on YouTube and with record labels taking advantage of this in the first place because multiple YouTubers have been speaking out about this, Rick Beato, Fantano, David Bennett, just to name a few. But it seems like CG5 did get back to me and he responded to me in my Instagram DMs, which I actually didn't see. I actually unfortunately missed for a few weeks
maybe we should have like waited for that, like given a reasonable amount of time to wait and then figure out. I wonder what the response is going to be. Is it going to be, I don't care that the song is cut out, I still want your money, Liam? Or is it going to be the case that this fucking guy it was automated. It was done by his fucking label or management, and he wasn't personally doing this, despite what Loam's original video would lead you to believe.
My Instagram DMs, since they just get flooded up with the worst things imaginable from people. So because they were filled with this, I didn't see this for a couple weeks, but he actually did reach out, and he did release the copyright claim.
Oh, it's a miracle! It's a surprise! You mean to tell me this guy didn't just like happen to be watching your video and wasn't just like fighting you over 3 seconds, personally fighting you over 3 seconds of his song being used? Really? Really, bro? And then all his like 15-year-old fans in the comments believing
On my
it?
video, even though I did have to unlist that video, and when I had to re-upload it, it completely f***ed in the algorithm. So it still kind of did mess with me for no good reason. What I did appreciate and like to see though is that I did get an email, and he did release the copyright claim. Whether that be out of a mistake or like social pressure, it seems like he did come forward with that, which I did appreciate. And also sent me a message in Instagram DMs that I want to read out. So CG5 Beats right here said, "Hey Liam, I don't know if you're active here, but I was just made aware of your video today, and I wanted to."
He was just made aware. It wasn't social pressure. Why are we pretending like this guy personally struck it?
Apologize directly. Little did he know. I'm sorry for the late reply. Okay, apologies there. I do have to own that. But he says, "I had no idea the copyright takedown happened until I saw the video, as the decision was not personally made by me, but by YouTube's automated claim system through my record."
Yes, wow. Wow. Virgin Music, by the way, it's like, it's not some big label like Sabrina Virgin Music, I'm pretty sure, is one of the biggest fucking music labels, like in the United States. I think this guy's British, but in the United States, right?
Well, Virgin Music. It's okay. Okay, first of all, this guy's a record label called Virgin
Virgin Music.
Okay.
This guy doesn't know anything about music, bro. I'm pretty sure that's one of the biggest fucking... Dude, Virgin Music Group is one of the biggest fucking... Is this guy serious? Who... Wait. Dude, this is like... Who do we got signed to? LL Cool J, fucking... Okay, it's giving me some irrelevant ass names. Meek Mill, Netspend, fucking, I don't know who Baby Lasagna is. Lauv, okay, Lauv, Kevin Abstract, fucking, like, this guy doesn't know anything about music. That is literally one of, I'm pretty sure, like, the biggest, one of the biggest global music distributors. Yeah, it's owned by fucking Universal. Come on, bro. Come on, I'm not even like a music bro, and it's like this obscure label, Virgin Music, you know, Virgin, like fucking Richard Branson, bro, like Richard Branson, like, I don't even, who the fuck keeps calling me, bro? Why is everyone texting me and calling me and fucking, what do you people want? Holy shit. Yeah, Richard Branson, like the multi-billionaire that's trying to like make like space planes and shit, like.
But you know, to be fair, I guess he's saying he had nothing to do with it. He isn't paying attention to it. He signed to this record label, and it seems like they already have the system involved that they immediately copyright claim.
Aiden, what you don't know can fill a yeah, that goes for everybody. That goes for literally everybody. But if you're like a music YouTuber or whatever the fuck, I would expect you to fucking like not sit here and be like some like obscure label like Virgin, some obscure airline like Virgin Air, like. No, that is like Richard Branson, Universal Music Group. That is a huge fucking label.
One who even uses any amount of their music, even if it's down to like 1 second to 2 second, they immediately just copyright it through a system. Now, that may or may not be true. I guess, you know, just because I'm not trying to start...
That may or may... You have no reason to doubt this. To believe your version of it. He's like playing dumb now because he knows he's gonna like look like totally like fucking wrong. Okay? I don't know if he like pretended like it was this guy personally for views, but like anybody with common fucking sense knows that it was automated.
Anything huge. I don't want to like elongate this. This is more just an update video to put this to bed because
no, you were wrong. You were wrong. Okay, it's not. I guess I'll take his. You were just blatantly wrong.
To have this go any further, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, even though I just never.
He doesn't need the benefit of the doubt. It was fucking obvious from the get-go. I said it from the get-go. Dude, I'm calling Liam. What is this shit, bro? Or he's not picking up. This is like retarded, dude. I'll give him the benefit. He doesn't need the benefit of the doubt. It was obviously not him that did it. You got it wrong. Take your L and move on. You didn't wait for a fucking response. Like, just move on. Of course he's on Virgin Records. Yeah, one of the... Yeah, this is just like, I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going on with Liam. I guess the commentary, the standards of commentary have been thrown out in favor of like the appeal to the 15-year-old masses standards, I guess. Dude, yeah, I was flying some like obscure airline, like Delta Airlines. See what I added you with on Twitter? Well, it didn't come up in, oh, this? Oh yeah, I checked this. Or you mean what you replied to me? I don't know what you're, just put it in the inbox. I don't know where or when you added me. But like, yeah, dude, this like guy who's like, he's doing what Flamenco did for Medicare, but for Fuentes. He's like, by the way, what I'll say about Fuentes is, despite being wrong, Fuentes knows like his shit. He does read up on shit. He does know his homework. He does like actually make like claims. This guy doesn't even make claims. He just like will sit there and be like, this is degenerate and grow like vibes. It's all vibes. There's like never any like argument or breakdown or like he's somebody that knows nothing and is trying way too hard to be like Fuentes. But like he does these videos like getting angry and reacting. Just like there's another guy who does it with like immigrants. He like sits there and gets angry watching immigrants. And it's like, but this is like, he's watching this dude riz this girl saying, yeah, he gets connected to like everyone he fucks. And like, she's like laughing at it. She's loving it. She's hot. He's hot. He's on a fucking motorcycle. And this guy's, what is that? What is going on? This is literally the online equivalent of sitting in the fucking cuck chair. You're a loser. Both of these people own you.
Do I get attached? Usually, yes. I fall in love so fast. And I'm so
Dude, look at his face. Like, how is this not like a humiliation ritual?
sensitive, and I'm very picky. So if I choose...
If you, like, unironically, if you think it is gay to acknowledge the attractiveness of other guys, you're, like, overcompensating for being a closeted homosexual.
someone and they choose me, and something goes down like that, I tend to really be into it, and I get it.
Dude, look at his face. It is how are you not embarrassed doing
attached.
That was gay. He said I'm sensitive and I'm picky.
Yeah, it's called Riz.
I don't have sex. I make love. I'm the opposite.
I go up to women and talk about immigrants. Why am I sitting in my fucking like overpriced shitty apartment with a brick wall because they just decided to divide it with someone else's apartment. It wasn't even meant to be its own apartment. Why am I not getting women?
Make love. I fuck.
It's all it's like no claims like about like fuck boy society, etc., etc. Also, this guy is just like incredibly short. Like, and people were like trying to vouch for him. Like Myron was like, "I'm just tall. I know." This guy is so fucking short. There's always a catch with these people. There's always a catch. There's always a reason. There's always an inferiority complex that leads them to be like this. And I guess for this guy, it's his just like freakishly like short height. I said a catch for people like this. I'm not some like chud like react channel that's like sitting here watching videos of like dudes trying to get laid, being like, ugh, icky, ew, cooties. Like, grow the fuck up, dude. I know you're like the size of a child, but you don't have to fucking act like one. It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. Ew. Dude, I love that. There are two types of clippers in this world. There are smart clippers that want this community to advance, okay? And they know what to clip and what to caption it to appeal to a broader range of people, bring new people into this community. And then there are people that just want to always appeal to the community that's already pre-existing So what they do is they make captions like this and clips like this that nobody, there's a reason this didn't show up in my notifications, because it's fucking shadow banned. Has to do the humble brag, even if he's talking about some great stuff, man. Great stuff. All right, I'm probably gonna skip the parry segment today. I am a little bit tired. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. And I'll go do these We might make it to the parry segment. I'll have to see. But if you guys want to support the channel, as always, okay, we're over halfway to Streamly goal. I think we're like $40 there. You can support us as always by hitting the Super Chats button in the chat. If you could also hit fucking Streamlabs, link in the description. You could also support us by getting involved with the community, being like an actually good, non-incompetent clipper like this guy, and clipping and putting it in our Twitter community, coming up with good captions, that kind of shit. You could join our Twitter community, link in the description. You could join our Discord server, which is growing and strong. Okay, join the Discord server. The link to that will also be in the description. And, yeah. I'll be right back in a sec. Give me 2 seconds, all right? I'm making myself another coffee. It's not a smoke break. It's not gonna be 7 minutes. What is so funny, Nico? Share with the class. What is so funny? Cover that nobody linked in my inbox. The inbox, folks, it's there. It's how we find little hidden gems. If you're scrolling on YouTube and see some like crazy schizo, even if you're not sure if I'd be interested in it, link it anyway. All right, I go through it, and it's better to link 10 things I'm not interested in and 1 that I am than not link anything at all. We can just never have too much in the inbox. So link like hell. Anything you see, anything you think I could cover, because if I have more stuff to cover, I'll go live more. All that good stuff. I don't actually prepare for my streams or make a docket, and it's your fault that I don't do. Okay, apparently. Oh, wait. Okay, so cool. So Bobby, despite me, you know, chilling in my own corner, Bobby decided to make some comments about me. And look, folks. There's a lot of things to insult me for. You could insult me for being a voice cell, okay? I have a strange little voice. You could insult me for my speech impediment, my sharp S's. You can insult me for my inconsistent political ideologies as a child. You can insult me for being like super socially awkward. You can insult me for a lot of things, okay? Insult me for my hair, my face, my nose, okay? But if you are someone like Bo Blacks, do not insult my intelligence. Don't insult my intelligence. Yo, what the fuck? Our biggest donation of the month, ladies and gentlemen, from your local cryptid with $40 fucking dollars. That is insane, sir. Genuinely, that is fucking insane. Thank you so much, your local cryptid. That is very generous, quite frankly, more than I deserve, but you were the best, buddy. Thank you so much. We're personal friends now. But, you know, there's a lot to insult me for. But if you're like Bo Blacks, where it's like, you know, you're a little bit, there's something off, but, you know, I've tried to be not too blunt about it in the past. You know, you're just not like a very bright guy. Don't insult my intelligence, okay?
This is a bridge with Aiden Byrne. I mean, yeah, he's kind of stupid. I mean, if anyone looks at how he acts, like...
Bo Blacks is like, yeah, look at those clips of when he was a kid. Like, the clips everyone's called me, he has those too. Points like something from when I'm like 14 or some shit. He's like, what, he's almost 30? Almost 30-year-old fucking... Almost 30 over here? Like, what do you mean how I act, buddy? Is he going to elaborate? No, he's not going to elaborate because he knows I'm more intelligent than him. He knows I'm more competent than him. Well, actually, he doesn't know that. Dunning-Kruger doesn't allow him to accept that, so he'll come up with reasons to not have to accept that obvious reality that I'm better than him in every conceivable facet. And yeah, he just can't accept that, which is fine, you know, it's whatever. But I think, you know what? You want to come my intelligence? Let's do it. Let's do it. And you could benefit off of it. So I challenged him to a live game of Jeopardy, general knowledge trivia, hosted by, he's Canadian, hosted by a Canadian at one point, Alex Trebek. We love you, Alex. And it would be hosted by Salvo Pancakes, and we'd put money into a prize pool, and he doesn't have to put a dime, and if he wins, he still gets it. I'll put in 100. There were people matching me. Salvo said he'd match me. This would come down to probably $500 in the prize pool, okay? Salvo agreed to host it. Everything's down. We are now just awaiting a response from Bobby. Should be the easiest $500 of your life. Will he take it? Probably not. But apparently there was another clip that I haven't seen.
I can't even.
Yeah, I mean, it's no wonder Aiden's the way he is now, right?
No.
And we even saw him as he was growing up. Like, he'd come on after hours and be like, I'm a Nazi now.
This never happened! You're just lying! You're just fucking lying! This never happened!
Fucking communist now. I'm an anarchist now. Like, you've changed.
What do people not understand, okay? I can explain, I can break it down for you, okay? Break it down for you. I have a surface level understanding of politics, but I enter a world that is now talking about politics in 2018 to 2020. Okay, I come from a conservative family. Trump seems funny on a surface level. Okay, so knowing nothing about politics, I am a self-avowed conservative. Okay, 2020, making more regular appearances on RFC, I begin to become a liberal. I start going towards the left. Okay, by 2021, I have become a anarchist. Okay, very cringe. I was in like servers talking to people who were fighting ISIS in or had fought ISIS in Rojava, in like northern Iraq. Cool stuff. And then I had briefly become an ML, a commie, and then back to liberal. So that's where it follows. Okay, that's where it follows. I was on the right I was some variant of leftism for, in 2 years will be, or sorry, I was some variant of leftism for over half a decade, okay? I was some variant of leftism for half a decade, and I was briefly conservative for 2 years. It's really not that hard to follow for, like, anyone that can, like, I know, like, having too many different, like, topics or subjects or, like, terms that he doesn't know what they mean can be, like, a little bit confusing for Bo Blacks, but it's not hard to follow.
These political extremes. I still think he's fucked in the head, unfortunately.
I'm fucked in the head. Why is this their go-to, man? Why is everyone's go-to? They call me fucked in the head. I'm sick. What is this? What's your relationship? Which there has been no relationship since 2021 or some shit. I don't know where Tommy gets that one from. Jeff Holiday had come into my DMs when I was a conservative to argue with me. And we didn't get along over that. And then we started talking again after I had become a lefty, like briefly. And then we've not spoken since I think like 2021. Tommy like flip-flopped the whole timeline because for some reason, it like this very basic concept, you have to follow to 5 points. These people are unable to follow to 5 points, which is like pathetic, right? Because even in your like short-term memory, the average person can quickly short-term memorize like 7 concepts and then repeat them at once, right? It is 5 points. It is not that hard to memorize. And somehow these adults, they always seem to struggle at it.
So
I was online being exposed to a lot of new ideas. I was a kid. I was impressionable. Of course, I fucking flip-flopped. That's what happens, right? That's what happens when you're young and online and shit. And yeah, it like sucks. But what I will say, the good that came out of it, by flip-flopping to these different places, I have a lot of knowledge about them, and how the people within them kind of operate. But like, yeah, it's just like not hard to follow. I do wonder what the context. What is the cuck cast, by the way? Oh, this is a Tommy C guy, Gamer J Lee.
Yeah,
I think these are like your now recording types.
It's no wonder Aiden's the way he is now, right? And we even saw him as he was growing up. Like he'd come.
There's no real criticism. There's no real engagement. There's nothing they could point to. It's just, oh, you were impressionable as a kid and didn't know about politics. That's the best these people have. Oh, you were 5 political ideologies when you were a young kid online. Here's a photo of your dick. Here's a photo of your phimosis-ridden dick that you were too fucking stupid to if you were going to publish it at all because you're that desperate for money, because you're a total failure in your career endeavors, right? At least when you're going to go to that low to like publish porn of yourself online to hopefully make a fucking dime to show mommy, hey mom, I am paying off some of our debt, right? At least, maybe don't use an email that you're going to have linked to your main Google so you pull it up on screen so now I have a photo of your phimosis-ridden fucking dick that I can reply to you with. Hey, you had a lot of political ideologies when you were 14. Here's a photo of your penis. Here's a photo of you in a dress.
And be like, I'm a Nazi now. I'm a fucking communist now. I'm an anarchist now. Like, he'd change these political extremes. I still think he's fucked in the head, unfortunately. So I hope he I don't know. I wish the best for him, but I definitely don't.
I'm sorry. I don't know what got into me. Something off of me today, man. There's something off me today. Just seething rage.
Even though he is an adult and he can make his own decisions now, I don't think doing drama content is good for him. But you know, he can do what he wants.
I mean. Well, again, I don't really know Aiden very, very well because I just know.
All right. I'm listening, sweetie. What is she gonna say? I'm either gonna really like her, or I'm really gonna despise her in 2 seconds.
Of what I've heard of him, to be fair, I've watched him on occasion, but I don't know. I mean, I get that he has an appeal because of how long he's been doing this, quote unquote, I guess, but I don't really watch him. So
Wow, that was like a totally like useful thing to spend 30 seconds saying you don't fucking watch me. I'm sure we're all interested, and I'm sure that I'm sure that needed the 30 seconds that you dedicated to come up with that simple fucking thought. I don't watch him. Wow, crazy stuff. $10 from Will. More of this. True, more of your money. Give me all of it.
I couldn't tell you exactly what he's like. I just can tell you what I've heard. And
what have you
I've
heard?
That he can either be really fair, or he can be totally spurgy, or he's just a complete idiot. I've heard all of the things when it comes to Aiden. But I didn't realize that he was that young. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't even...
Why is like 20 so young? Augie was younger than I am now during peak after hours, right? Salvo was younger than I am now, and he was like... When he first came onto the scene, like he was not okay. He didn't look it because his hairline was all fucked. But what? He was like 19 at that point. I'm not that like I'm 20 years old. Like I'm not that young.
Yeah, it's insane. I actually made a video about it. It was my first commentary video. It was in 2017. I made it about it. Yeah, Aiden saw it back in the day, and when he was a kid, he hated me for it, but then he thanked me for it later. So, because he was like, "You're right." But
Do you still talk to Aiden? Are you
Oh!
still in touch
Hell
with
no.
him or no?
Oh!
Hell no. He's a
Oh!
piece of shit. He's a retard.
Here's the thing. I
Get him to. You're on a podcast. Get him to elaborate. Ask him to clarify. Get your guests to elaborate. That's why you have guests, because you're going to build off what they have to say. You want to get some information from them. So surely they're not going to interrupt and like just not give them any pushback on this, right?
Get in the call with that.
5 from Cal. You are basically Unk. All right, little bro.
Kid.
Dude, you fucking 19-year-old teenagers in here. Like, you guys are like such little fucking kids.
The thing is like, I never, like, you know me, Bo Blacks.
Dude, Now Recording's finest of the year. Now Recording's finest co-host, okay? Shot from they actually considered this guy to be like an addition that when he came on Tommy's streams, they became worth watching. Co-host of the year. Known for such great moments as,
I'm friends with Tommy. I've seen Aiden in calls. I've never experienced an Aiden call. did I play Call of Duty?
Why are all of these people so fucking slow? We get it. You don't know me. Why do you need to keep clarifying that? You suck as interviewers. Get your guests to elaborate.
With him, like when Warzone first came out, maybe I think I did with Augie or with Tommy. But I know that kid, he's basically he's now just a shell, and he's going to stick with whatever agenda is going to get him clout or friends or a pat on the ass and say,
huh? This guy really knows what he's talking about. I obviously say things that get me really liked and help me keep my friends. This is so true. This is so true. This is obviously, it's like I get every contradicting, and I get it, it's different people that can have a different analysis, but it's like on one hand, I'm a contrarian that says shit to just make people angry. On the other, I'm just pushing an agenda to like get friends and be liked. On one hand, I'm audience captured. On the other hand, I like crash out at chat too much. And it's like, at some point, all of my critics need to like convene and like, and decide like a jury, figure out the narrative we're going with, people.
good job. You said the right things. You're a good person. And
excuse me?
And that's what Aiden is he needs the confirmation of I'm on the right side of history. And then you as you saw with what he did, like initially whenever Willie Mack came out with his coverage about Destiny, he then flip-flopped to saying, I never said this about Willie. I never did this. When we all
What are you talking about?
Heard what he said, what he did, everything else.
Like what? Like what? What are you talking about, sir? I never said what, and then I backtracked on what. What statement are you talking about? Yeah, I remember Aiden was saying I never said the thing, but we all remember he said the thing. What fucking thing is it, sir? What are you talking about, sir? Holy shit, dude, this is actually worse than now recording. This is actually worse than now recording.
So that's the thing about Aiden is he's what is he, like, I believe he's 19 now, 18, 19?
20.
Is he 20? Well,
he's 20.
5 more years and maybe his brain will...
According to my calculations, he's 20 years old. I follow every bit of all of his... I don't like him, but I watch all of his streams on slow motion with no audio on. And don't ask me when I turn on my camera about the lotion and the tissues in the background.
Fully developed. But at the same time, I have a feeling by the time he hits 25, he possibly might move on with his life because, for God's sake, he fucked up big time. And we've all seen how he handles things. I mean, for God's sake, he flew all the way out to Europe to meet a troll, and then that troll went on his computer
I did not fly. Okay, I went to Europe last summer. I went to Europe the summer before. Okay, I love meeting random people in random countries, and I got drunk one night and I did the starting stream, and I thought that because I could see Parry through the glass, he wasn't gonna try some shit, and he did try some shit. I thought he was just doing it to enrage me because he knew I could see him, and I thought that it was a troll, right? And then we went on stream, and then it turns out it wasn't a troll. He actually did briefly look at a part of a DM in which no new information, no new revelations were leaked. Okay, it was a mistake. I've taken regular safety precautions in regards to locking my computer whenever I step away from it, but because it was on the stream starting screen, I didn't know if locking it would would end the stream or whatever. I guess I just didn't think about it in that brief moment, and it's fine, right? He didn't have enough time to actually look at before I came back in. He didn't have enough time to actually look at the substance of anything. He saw briefly one DM that revealed Diorio didn't like Queeman, and then thanks to Tommy, we later learned, as he directly cites his conversation with Nick, believing it's potentially private, but he doesn't care to verify, that Diorio was actually mad that Salvo Pancakes or Queeman went on Salvo Pancake's stream. We didn't get that from me. We didn't get that from Parry. We got that from Tommy. We got that from your fucking guy. For me, it's a very understandable brief mistake. For Tommy, it's something he continuously does, and even on stream, has a moment to reconsider and decides to do anyway.
While he was away and looked at his DMs. So,
like, we see how he is. Look at this, like, one understandable mistake.
What?
You didn't.
This is the first I'm hearing.
And I didn't fly to Europe to meet him. I solo travel. I've been doing it, like, I'm not, unlike you guys, I'm not afraid to leave my room, right? I've been solo traveling for years. I meet people if I'm going to some tiny little country and I happen to know somebody there and we both stream and I think it could be a funny dynamic, etc., etc. Of course, I'll meet him. It's no problem. I just didn't consider for that brief moment. I let my guard down for that brief moment, and that was a mistake. But at 20 years old, you know, I've made mistakes. I'm going to probably make more, and that's just something you learn from, and that's not a mistake that gets repeated, right? Now, when I'm doing my stream, no worries. When I'm doing my stream starting screen in a room with like a notorious troll, going forward, in the brief 2 seconds I step out, it will be in lock mode. Cool. Like, that's not like a fucking huge deal, right?
Hearing of this.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Oh, why do they all sound like this too? Why do they all sound like fucking like troglodytes, bro? It's all of them. I have like PTSD from this kind of voice. Because I know sometimes the ones that, fair enough to them, are willing to call in occasionally, I know I'm about to deal with the most like stupid fucking argument I've ever heard in my life, and it's gonna loop for an hour, or they're gonna say something stupid on stream and never call in.
I read some of them out.
Yeah, I don't.
You read some of them out. What?
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
What? You didn't. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Even read some of them out.
It was one, and he just said that I'm pretty sure Parry only said that it was about Queeman, right? That he doesn't like Queeman, that he was complaining about Queeman. I think that was the exact quote. I don't even think Parry had enough time to figure out, like, what was being linked there.
Yeah, I don't.
He went through his DMs with Diorio.
He didn't go, he clicked on it, and he saw the last DM that Diorio had sent me.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
And that's all public info. That's all been covered by people.
Yeah, it is public, which makes it even more pathetic that you managed to fucking get it wrong.
Well, publicly.
I didn't know
Yep.
this.
Yeah. He went to Europe to meet with a troll that...
This never happened. I did not go to Europe to meet with a troll, okay? I went to Europe because I went to Europe, which is something I've done repeatedly. And I've not gone to meet people there, right? I did not fly all the way to fucking Malta. Literally, I was in Malta for what? A solid 4 days? Most of my time in Europe was just spent in Italy. Malta was the in-between, between Italy and Greece.
Was basically he was gonna do like some content with, and basically he went away from his computer for a moment, and the guy on live stream went through his DMs with Nick Diorio and read some of them out.
No, it was literally one. It was part of one, and we didn't even get the full content of it because what happened. And I should have done a better retelling of the story, right? That I was out there hitting my vape, right? I saw him going on through the glass. I ran back in, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Knowing that I knew that he knew that I could see him, so I thought he was trolling me. So when he did say, oh, I was just looking at our own DMs together, I'm like, oh, he was just trying to like rage bait me or whatever the fuck. He wasn't like crossing that line. And then it turned out on stream that he did actually have a moment to briefly see that DM that revealed, shocker, Diorio doesn't like Queeman. And then thanks to Tommy C, your guy, we actually know what one of his gripes with Queeman is. Because Nick, despite like very clearly being angry about what that side of the community says about him, is just gonna like subtly allude to them at the end of streams and then act like he doesn't care. Like the Schrodinger's I don't give a fuck. And then like complain to people in private about all the grievances he has and never address them.
Stream.
Kind of reminds me of do you know who Confusing Opinion is?
Yep. No.
He went out. He met me at VidCon in the expo hall, and he started recording my phone, and like trying to like.
Yeah, why did you go to VidCon, by the way? Who were you there to see? This guy got barred from every single party.
To, like, get recordings of DMs that I was trying to like scroll through or whatever.
You were showing it to him. You were meeting. Oh my god! This fucking loser was walking the expo hall by himself at a convention that people go to who want to learn about making videos or already make videos, people who have fans. The guy who is involved in a genre of content that makes him money, not fans, and somehow fucked that up and now is only known for being hated, decided to go and publicly walk around a convention by himself because he was under the delusional belief that everything would be normal and he'd be able to get into parties, despite the fact that the second anyone said they were bringing Bo Blacks, they got fucking blacklisted, and he's like walking around the expo hall bitter, showing like random shitter fans his DMs. Of course they're recording you. They're fucking clowning on you. You're just too stupid to fucking realize it.
Yeah.
Wait, this is just this last VidCon or when?
Yeah, this VidCon.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart. You know what I will say about her, right? She is a little slow, but she has not said anything necessarily wrong yet, to my knowledge.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Um,
wow. Well, because I think, okay, I know you don't want to talk about it, but what happened with VidCon, I think that what we've heard with you in VidCon was what happened with the gaming otter. And I'll just leave
You're
it.
cutting out, and I'm fine with talking about anything.
What is this fucking podcast, bro? What is this podcast?
Now I'm more. I've kind of changed my mindset a little bit since our DMs about Zelda Cast, about just talking about things. But yeah. What about Gaming Otter? You cut out a bit.
Oh,
What about him?
VidCon and well, what we heard about you and the gaming otter at VidCon. That I think that's what we've heard about mostly with you at VidCon.
All right, this is and it's fucking 6 hours long. Who cares? The dregs. True. Let's see. How, at least did it do well? Oh, they don't even know how to fucking. What is it like with the titling and thumbnail part? If you just like take a second to like recognize the patterns, it is like the easiest part of doing this shit, and it is the most important. Because you could have the best video ever, once again, but if it's wrapped in shit, nobody's ever gonna fucking see it, so what's inside doesn't matter. Okay? The title and thumbnail are just as important as the video or stream itself. This is a horrible fucking title. This is like, I don't understand. Why is it like so hard for people to understand how to like, and Queeman likes to cope. Aiden likes to posture because he's been doing this for so long. I told Queeman to redo his thumbnails, and I don't think in his defense he did it because of me, but he did do the thumbnails the way I would have advised him to go do them, and the views went up. Because it's so easy. It's so fucking easy. There's like no excuse. Anyways, there's some allegations from FaZe Clan. This is coming from FaZe Rain. I was never really big into FaZe. I went to the FaZe house once because everyone used to show up there and leave notes on the door when I was a little fucking kid. And I remember this guy specifically. I would follow him. I think he actually, like, I'm pretty sure he is bipolar, and he would have like manic episodes on Twitter all the time where people would be like in his replies trying to calm him down and shit, and he'd be like threatening his life. So for all I know, whatever it is we're gonna watch could be an example of that. I'm not sure yet.
It wasn't a threesome with two 16-year-olds. Actually, it was a 17-year-old. So all of a sudden now it's 17. Okay. One was 17 and the other one watched. That's what he said. And then he started bringing up all these random laws. I don't even know, these weird consent laws, like Romeo and Juliet, this, yada, yada. I don't fucking know. I don't know what these laws are, bro. And he says some shit like that.
How
and even
old?
Banks calls me after and he's like, bro, what the fuck is like up with that law shit that he brought up? So he knows he did some shit that was wrong. He knows that.
How old was
knows
he?
that. But it's just, I don't like the denying of it. And I feel like in this video, you're trying to paint me like I'm lying and making shit up and just saying shit to say shit when
Wait,
you
where's
know
the-
that's not the truth,
Okay,
bro.
no-
And it's not fair because, you know, people try to hold that 2020 shit over me where I was just suicidal and trying to off myself. You act like I fucking sit there recreationally getting fucking high. I don't
Okay, nobody actually linked anything about this in inbox, so I don't even know if this is the original video. I'm just gonna come back to this when I have it compiled, if it's interesting. This fucking sucks. Alright, for our Streamer's Nightmare segment, let's see if anyone linked anything of oh, nobody linked anything of Parry's. Okay, so we'll cut that segment too. Got it, got it, got it. Well, there's some news, okay? There's some news that just come out about Deforvid. All right, let's see a topic in Chud's inbox.
They're a family that.
What? Excuse me? I'm not watching that. Huh? Okay, we'll try something else. Oh, sick! Somebody in Chud's chat did a breakdown of the phase drama. Cool, cool, cool. Here's a breakdown of the phase rape drama if you want to go through the... Okay, here we go. Former member, Phase Rain. Okay. Locking in. Whoa. Why is it... Okay, so we're going to check out... Whoa. Okay, so we're going to check out the phase allegations. We're going to check out the phase allegations. Let's get into this. Innocent until proven guilty. Let's figure out what's going on here. Let's get to the bottom of this, folks. Former phase member, Rain, alleges that there is a pedophile in phase, but doesn't say who. Got it?
So much. It's good. It's good. It's good. I just hear a fucking voice in my head whenever I try to do some shit. That's why I don't really give a fuck. I'm finna pull the bandage off. I'm just gonna say it for what it is, bro. It is what it is. Bro, I want to put everything to do with me and FaZe to rest, bro, because there is so much I haven't said. And honestly, at this point, bro, I don't give a fuck. I think I'm going to collect my thoughts tomorrow and I'm going to say everything, bro. Every single thing that I know. Everything. Everything. And I'm going to collect my thoughts because I have an eidetic memory, so I remember everything and anything. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't know what, like, I'm probably the guy looks sleepless. He does have some mental health problems. So, like, he could just, like, not be consciously thinking about it. But, like, if you're going to drop some, like, big claims about, like, somebody in this, like, you know, very famous, world-renowned gaming organization, doing some freaky shit with kids, you got to be specific. You got to think about it. You got to know what you're doing. Not just for the sake of, like, clarity and making sure we're not making up some shit, but also, like, to protect your own ass from, like, claims of defamation.
And there's bad shit. There's bad shit. I'm just going to do it on stream. I don't give a fuck. It's going to come straight from the heart. So if people have other questions, I'm going to answer it too. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't even know why I left FaZe. A lot of people don't even know why. It was for multiple reasons. It was by being fucked over by my homies.
No, okay, we're going through this as it happened. We're not there yet, okay? We're not there yet, okay? You guys like the people at the end of the movie, like, oh, I wonder if the protagonist is gonna, like, end up, you know, falling in love with her. She seems like a nice... You're like, no, Aiden, she's actually the killer. She's been the killer the whole fucking time. We're trying to maintain a lot... I don't even need to explain it.
You know, that I threw, this is the craziest part, bro. I threw myself under the bus instead of them. I swear to God, I put myself under the bus instead of them. I wasn't even pushed out. I left. There's a fucking pedophile involved too, bro. I don't give a fuck if I get sued. I could give a fuck less. I always stand up for what's right. That was the final straw, bro. That was the final fucking
Okay, so he's considering that what he's about to say could have legal consequences.
straw. And when I said, bro, not only did you guys fucking air me out, y'all motherfuckers sold me out, y'all fucking scammed me behind my back, and honestly, I just had an...
Also, better late than never, but how many years ago did FaZe Rain actually leave FaZe Clan? Out of curiosity. Because... When did FaZe Rain leave FaZe Clan? Okay, I can't find a Wikipedia page for him. Does anyone know? Does anyone know what year this guy actually left? Is it this video? Is it this video? Does anyone know what year this guy left FaZe Clan? He left 5 to 6 years. Oh, 6 years ago. Got it. Okay, so he left about 6 years ago, about 5 to 6 years ago. And he now believes, and he's admitted this at the time, that he I guess as he was leaving FaZe Clan, knew about this. I guess he has known about the existence of what he believes to be a pedophile, who is a prominent creator for 5 to 6 years, and he's only now coming forward. To be fair, there are many reasons why somebody might not come forward about this. Sometimes it's hard to accept. If it's like a friend of yours, you may be offering unnecessary charitability. You may be worried about getting sued, that kind of shit. But it's better late than never. Let's assess the allegation.
Epiphany about it, because I'm like, bro, I've covered, not even covered about it.
You just like made that up. Got it.
I was so sad about it for so long. I was so I've been fucked up over that pedo shit for like 2 years, bro. But I haven't said nothing about it. I haven't said shit. I haven't said shit because somebody I grew up with, somebody I always loved. But I have fucking 3 fucking rules, bro. 3 rules, and I'll have your back. If you get bored and go blow somebody's head off, I'll have your back. Probably I won't agree with what you did. I mean, that's fucked up, but that's my dog.
So
but bro,
okay.
It's like the pedo shit.
He alludes to there being some sort of pedophile in FaZe Clan. Got it. And he figured this out at the time of his exit, which somebody just lied was 6 years ago because they just wanted to see me suffer or some shit. I don't know. FaZe Rain leaves FaZe Clan. Back in. Okay, Esports Insider says it was not 6 years. Oh, you guys, like, you actually suck. You just like come here and fucking make shit up. It wasn't 6 years ago. He left April of 2024. You're banned for life. If you don't know, just don't say anything. It's very simple.
Grape shit, animal abuse, I don't got your back forever, bro.
Okay, so it actually is like, he's actually coming out about this pretty soon after his departure.
Yeah, I do, but I'm not really gonna do anything with that, Nick. Yeah. And I'm gonna go into detail tomorrow about that shit. I don't give a fuck. And watch how my phone gonna get blown up tonight. Watch how it's gonna get blown up tonight. Please don't do it, bro. Please don't do it. I don't give a fuck. It's like, you know what it is, bro? It's like, these people don't care about me. They don't care if I live or die. They don't care if my mom's okay or not okay. And it's sad, bro.
That is sad. That is sad. Okay, so let's figure out who he was talking about. This is before we knew who it was. FaZe Banks coming out. FaZe Banks here. Definitely not a bald spot under his head.
First thing I'm going to say in this video is I'm not a pedophile. Rain is not talking about me. There, I got it out. Video over. Peace out. No. This is definitely not funny. This is definitely not going to be like a super lighthearted video. And yeah, I'm sitting in a hotel room right now in New York City. I left FaZe a month ago and quit the internet a month ago. And for whatever reason, I keep getting dragged back into this shit. It's like it's my fucking destiny or where I'm supposed to be, I guess. I don't know. It's fucking retarded. But yeah, I'm getting fucking spammed in my mentions right now on Twitter, asking if I'm a pedophile, being accused that I'm a pedophile, being tagged in this clip from FaZe Rain on Fearbuck, talking about there's a pedophile at FaZe, and I talked about it, and these are all the reasons why.
If Parry alluded to knowing a pedo, this is what you guys would do, by the way.
I don't like FaZe and why I got fucked over by FaZe and how I feel, whatever, and I'm gonna get into all that. But the first thing that needs to be addressed is obviously this pedophile shit. It's a very heavy accusation. It's a life-shattering, life-altering accusation, and that's why it's so heavy, and that's why this is the first time that I'm speaking about it. I have to speak about it now because there's no fucking shot I'm going out sad like that. I'm not getting labeled any kind of predator, pedophile, not me, missing you with that shit. And I'm definitely going to talk about this and talk about the series of events that have unfolded to this point from my POV. So let's just get into it.
Let's get into it.
Got a phone call about a year ago from FaZe Rain, or a text rather. He's kind of going off just about all the reasons why he's upset with FaZe, hates FaZe, doesn't fuck with FaZe, because it's just been a long process, obviously, guys. We've been doing this, and there's a lot. It's very, very complicated, but whatever. Rain's going off about how FaZe has slighted him, and he brings up that somebody's a pedophile, and nobody gives a fuck, and nobody wants to talk about it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Call him. He's like, Banks, don't fucking play dumb.
This is how Starbase DMs me, by the way.
We talked about this before. I'm like, Norden, pause.
Except in the case, like, Starbase is the pedophile. I don't think Rain is being accused of being, like, Starbase, like, you're harboring a predator in your community, and there's, like, DMs with a 16-year-old actively open.
You're saying that FaZe Temper is a pedophile, which that is who he's talking about in the clip. And there's a story, and we're going to get into it. I'm like, whoa, that's Tommy. That's our brother. This is who we started this FaZe shit with. I'm calling him. That was the first thing I said. I'm calling him, and I'm calling Apex, because apparently this is something Apex is aware of as well. Norton and
Okay.
Tommy, or Norton and
Yeah, so I'm assuming he's not quoting verbatim, because I'd be like, at least hear him out before you go and like call the fucking guy. I'm assuming he did hear him out and then called him.
Apex are the closest on the team, so obviously if Norton's going to talk to anybody about anything and be transparent, it's Apex. So I patched Tommy and Apex in the call immediately, and we sit on this phone call and we talk for a long time. We were on the phone probably for at least an hour, maybe even fucking 2 hours on the phone talking about this. And Tommy's first initial knee-jerk reaction to all this shit was, what the fuck are you talking about? Norton, no, this is not what the conversation was like. You're misremembering, you're misinterpreting. Obviously, Rain is coming back, standing firm on the fact that, no, you did say this. I do believe that you did this, whatever. And there's a conversation that happened between Norton and FaZe Temper years ago. This conversation that I'm describing.
Dude, okay, I don't know. Apparently, the guy is actually guilty, but I will say this. Okay, I've had nothing like this. But there are, like, cases where people just blatantly misremember conversations and will just, like, spout them so confident. It is the most infuriating fucking thing in the world when you have someone who's recounting a situation that's purely reliant on their dog shit memory, and, like, you just, like, remember every detail of the situation, exactly how it went down, and they're just so fucking confidently wrong, bro. Yes, Jay Stock.
On the phone with Apex, Tommy, Rain, and Apex, Tommy, Rain, and myself, obviously. Sorry, I'm fried. I literally just woke up. I'm doing one video, and I'm putting this shit out there, and Rain can talk about all the details of it. Apex can respond. Tommy, whatever. So this conversation I'm describing to you guys is a phone call from a year ago, but Tommy and FaZe Rain had a conversation between themselves years ago. I might be misremembering it, but I think it was 3-4 years ago they talked about this, and that's how long these guys have been sitting on that for. So this gets brought up years later. It's obviously a very heavy accusation. Yeah, what can you do in that situation? The way we left that phone call off was, let's get to the bottom of this, let's handle it. I mean, Rain's talking about making videos, Rain's talking about this, and nobody's telling him not to. I mean, obviously, Tommy's like, bro, this is...
Well, if you, like, care about him and don't want him to get sued, and you actually believe that there's, like, some basis to what he's saying, you're gonna want him to go about it in, like, an organized manner. And if you believe what he's saying, you should probably, as, like, the owner of the, or former owner of the organization, I don't know if does he still run the organization? I don't fucking know. If you believe there's some merit to what he's saying and the guy you've been hanging with is actually like a fucking pedo, you are gonna probably want to back him on that publicly so he doesn't look crazy.
I'm sure you're gonna fucking ruin my life. Tommy, for the record, is married, lives in the Midwest, has a kid, and is pretty much more or less off this internet shit. So, you know, the implications, the ramifications rather, this has on his life, it's life shattering. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked. And I don't, for the record, also, I don't necessarily have any reason to believe that Tommy is a predator, pedophile. If that were the
If the person is 17, he is not a pedophile, but he probably is someone that just doesn't give a fuck about the age of consent and like societal norms for like sexual engagement, which is like a bad sign. It is something he could grow out of, to be clear.
case, I wouldn't be following him. He would not be my homie. I would have spoken about this to some degree or handled it to some degree to a point where I was satisfied with the result. But this was a thing between Norton and Tommy, and Tommy's response was, "You're bugging. You're tripping. This is not true."
Okay, so apparently that's all we need to watch. Dude, I'm about to throw up. I don't know why. I'm like nauseous as shit. Fuck. I'm not gonna throw up on stream. I'm not hitting my vape anymore. Yeah, I'm done with that. I've not eaten actually in a hot minute. I'm not throwing up on fucking stream. All right. Well, give me 2 seconds. All right, sorry. I did not throw up. I did not throw up. I had some water. And I feel good as usual, back to normal.
Tommy at this point is obviously going to have to make some sort of response and clarify, what this is. I'm curious to see Apex's side of this shit too, because I remember vividly him on the call, like, this is the first time hearing about it too. I'm talking to him on the side, like, what the fuck is going on? And he's just as confused as I am, and just as obviously concerned as I am.
I did not throw up. Okay, I did not throw up. Listen, I thought it like could have been because I like left like raw oysters sitting out at room temperature for a few hours. But I don't think that's what did it, because I've done that before.
And yeah, I mean, what else can you do? Like, we're on this call, and the way it left off was, let's get to the bottom of it, and we just never followed up. I don't think we ever. I think that's the last, as sad as it is, the last phone call that us four were on together. Yeah, I mean, this face shit goes deep. I cannot discredit the way that Norton feels or all.
I'm not sick. I'm not. I feel in my prime right now. In my prime, dude. I feel in my prime right now. Okay. In my prime. All right. So we've got that. That's the part. That's the part that we needed to see. Yeah, so we saw that. That's, I guess, so what we know at this point now is that FaZe Rain is alleging there's like some predator in FaZe. Banks is corroborating they'd spoken about it at some point. Now the situation is going to develop. We're going to see it develop, folks. I'm not sick. Stop saying I'm sick. I'm not sick. Okay? I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm just, you know what it is? It's allergies. It's allergies. Okay. Dude, these allergies are fucking killing me lately. So now that we have seen that, let's go to the next part of these allegations. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, want to support the channel, as always, you could dono, super chats, button in the description. You can also donate through Streamlabs. Much appreciated. Goes to a great cause. If not, also, you could like up. That button exists, and you could get your exercise in for the day, and click that button. All right? Good stuff. You're fucking 500 pounds anyway, so you'll burn a lot of calories lifting your arm to click the button. All right. The next part is here. If I could fucking find it. I just lost it. Great professional streamer. Okay, so Banks then goes, or no, Rain responds to what Banks has to say. All right, so let's see what Rain's response is. It seemed like nothing Banks said really disputed any version of his narrative.
I wish I don't know. I just wish that shit never happened, so I could have been there for him while he had a kid. It breaks my fucking heart. It breaks my fucking heart. This dude looks me in my eyes and says, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I had a threesome with two 16-year-olds. I'm like, bro, what? Like, how could you tell me that after I'm telling you the 3 rules I have to why I'll never have your back as a friend?
I thought it was 17. I thought it was fucking 17.
On my mother's heartbeat. That's what he said. He looked me in the eyes and he said that. I told Banks and I told Apex immediately. He dropped me off home and
bro, it's freezing as fuck in here. Holy shit.
We haven't talked since. That's why you guys are always like, bro, why don't you play CS with him? Why don't you play this with him? I don't want to say it, bro. I feel fucking bad. Call concluded and Tommy didn't admit to it. Yes, he did. And you called me and you said, bro, this is so fucking bad. This is so fucking bad. He said he's going to kill himself if this shit ever comes out. And that's why I feel extra fucking bad, bro. That's why I feel extra fucking bad. You told me he would kill himself if it came out.
So was Banks trying to sweep? Banks was trying. I guess he cares about his friend. Maybe he doesn't see him sleeping with a 17-year-old as like a huge fucking deal if it happened years ago.
And you get
5 from Willie. Hey Aiden, my parents saw one of your streams on my phone and asked if you were anemic. They are concerned. I'm good. I am good. I am good. Okay, I'm good. I'm great. I feel better than ever. I am not sick. And yeah.
Guilted me into not doing it. You guilted me into not saying it because you're like, if he kills himself, that's gonna be on you. And you made me feel horrible for that. So I don't know what the fuck to
Supposedly one was 16, was only watch it. Okay, that doesn't make it a whole lot better.
do, bro. And I had an epiphany yesterday. I'm like, bro, why have I been holding this information for this guy for 2 years? But I know he doesn't give a fuck about me. He doesn't give a fuck about anything that happened.
Dude, I am turning yellow. That's crazy, bro. What does that mean if you're turning yellow? Let's look it up, okay? Turning yellow, feel cold, about to throw up. WebMD. Liver failure. I don't feel like my fucking liver is failing.
It's just I felt bad. Why do I always feel so bad for people, bro? And I don't ever want to make it about myself at all because it's not. It has nothing to do with that. But bro, what are you doing dropping a 10-minute video acting like I'm talking about you? Yeah, bro, people are tweeting at you. I don't know why they're tweeting at you. And then you're sending me fucking tweets, a kick champ saying it's Banks. Like, what the fuck do I have to do with that? You could have waited, I don't know, a fucking couple hours and I would have streamed and said it wasn't you. So why are we doing that, bro? Why? It's just so weird. It like deadass makes me think some shit. Because why are you so defensive? Just let me speak, bro.
They're trying to hush, sweep it under the rug. Many such cases in these organizations. Banks said he was actually going to look into it. I don't know what actually even ended up coming of that.
And you know I wasn't going to say anything about you. And bro, when I told Banks about it, he said, nah, bro, that's just some Tommy shit. I don't think it's a big deal. Because it was
whoa, like frat bro type behavior. Boys will be boys.
Over the phone where it's like gone, right? I'm not recording phone calls. He said that. He said that's just some Tommy shit and didn't think it was a big deal, right? And he knew going forward. But yeah, let me pull up the fucking tweet. And then when I texted him about it later down the line, he pretended like we've never talked about it before. I was like, bro, what are you doing? And in my
well, he did. Banks did just admit that you've spoken about it before.
I had. I'm like, bro, he's just doing this.
Unless he's talking about fucking what's his name, Temper.
So that if I hypothetically ever screenshotted it.
What is my bucket list? I want to visit every single country on Earth. I'm too much of a pussy to go skydiving, but I'd love to do it. Yeah, I mainly just want to visit every single country on Earth. That's my bucket list, okay? That is my bucket list. And we're close to achieving it, folks. Did I tell you what I might be doing December, depending on how much money I make? Did I tell you guys? I'm gonna be doing, potentially, in December, over winter break, I'll be flying to Santiago in Chile. I will then, somehow, I don't know how, somehow, I don't know if I'll be, there's not really trains, I think, that go this route. I don't know if I'll be figuring out how I'm gonna get there by car. I will then be going to Buenos Aires in Argentina, and then I will cross the fucking river, I forget what river it is, into Uruguay. I'll finish in Uruguay.
Wouldn't, you know, it looks like he cares.
I cross her, and then I somehow get to Montevideo, where I then fly back.
And he's defending it and shit like that. I'm not saying he doesn't care, but he didn't do anything about it at the time. When I brought it up,
You getting kidnapped by guerrilla fighters? Fathers from Syrian, go tandem skydiving. You just attach to someone and they do all the work for you. Just enjoy the. I'd probably fucking pass out, bro. I'd probably be the one guy where the parachute, like and then the secondary chute also fails, bro. You know, I loved heights has never, like, I still cannot get, I did a ropes course once that was like so fucking high up. I was like legit like paralyzed from fear. I just like, I couldn't, and then I accidentally, because you have to like move with someone along the course. And I did the fucking dumb thing. I was with an adult, but I did the dumb thing where like you have to get from one rope to the other. You're high up in these high ass fucking trees. It's like a sloping hill. So you're really, really fucking high up. Like so high up, if you fell to the bottom, you would die. And we're going along this little ropes course, and you have to unbuckle one harness, and then you unbuckle the second buckle. But you need to always have a buckle attached to at all times. And my dumb ass, I unclip one to go move it to the other, or some shit. And then before I even do that, I unclip the other. And the adult I'm with is like, I'm not trying to freak you out. Put your clip on the rope. I'm like, oh, shit. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun. Okay. Anyways, FaZe Temper is responding to these vague allegations. Let's see what he has to say. He did it. Okay, I don't know anything about him.
When the fact that I'm even having to respond to this and to that my name is in the same breath as the word pedophile is so sick, twisted, and insane. This is disgusting. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not that type of person. I am the furthest thing from what you called me. And I will never be that person. It's so mind-blowing that someone that I really built a brotherhood with, someone that I really
How old was he at the time? That's my question. Has this been like verified? Like how old he would have been at that given point in time? And were they 16 or it was a 17-year-old he was fucking, a 16-year-old was watching. How old was he at that point in time? Allegedly, when this allegedly went down.
Considered a brother that I invited to my baby shower, that I always looked after and took care. And then when you were going through your darkest days, I was there for you and I was making sure that you were good. When you were in a wheelchair for 2 years and like I was so gutted at the fact that like you couldn't walk again. And then all of a sudden you were able to walk again. And I was the happiest person in the room. There wasn't a single soul that was happier for you than me. Brother, I have known you since you were 4.
To CV and Taya, ladies, I'm not in the mood today. Come on. Let's not, guys. Let's not. Let's all get along.
14 years old.
You heard he was 28.
Talking to me about when you were...
You're just... Okay, I don't know if you're fucking... You guys are just saying shit. I don't even... Was he 28?
Suicidal in these Skype chats, and I was there for you then.
Such a fucking unnecessary low blow. Okay.
And I've been there for you this whole time. You talked about how I rated you the other...
Like, dude, why are you accusing me of this? Like, when you were telling me that, like, really embarrassing, intimate, like, moment of, like, when you got molested as a child, I was there and I listened, bro. This is really relevant for me to include right now.
Day, even though when you first brought this up...
He doesn't deny he did it. Okay, he doesn't deny he did it. Okay. But the question is, okay, knowing that the person he was having intercourse with was 17, what I would then want to know is, how old was he at that point in time? Dude, the fact that you were even thinking this is so deranged. Thinking what? How old he was? Oh, he would have been 28. Got it. If it was like he was like 20 years old or some shit, or like 19 years old, I like wouldn't like. No, that would obviously be relevant.
Talking to me about...
Okay, so he's 32 now. It happened 4 years. He allegedly would have been 28. Yeah, that's fucked.
When you were suicidal in these Skype chats, and I was there for you then. And I've been there for you this whole time. You talked about how I rated you the other day, even though when you first brought this up a year ago, and I believe that you brought it up just for money purposes, that you wanted money out of FaZe. Like you...
But you're right. He hasn't denied it. He's just denied the label.
You stated that a year ago in the conversation with me, Banks and Apex. You stated if you don't get paid that, you're going to air this out.
I would just like love to know how old he was. I think that's like a very fucking important detail, but
that is blackmail. This is not like, you know who that is blackmail. You stated if you don't get paid that, you're going to air this out.
So was it legitimate or not?
That is blackmail. This is not.
And apparently this conversation was happening over text. So shouldn't there be some record of this exchange?
Not like, you know who I am. You know the type of person I am. I am not what you called me. I'm fucking gutted, bro. And
Do you know how many people get called minors say this shit? Like, I was just having a lapse in judgment. I'm not one of them, man. I'm not one of them.
Pissed that you even...
So he's refuting the label, not the event itself. Yes, that is like weird.
Even put my name in that light, because now me, all I care about is my family, bro. Like my biggest concern is my family.
Also, they're saying he's just like offline with his family. I mean, he looks like he's a whole fucking streaming setup.
My wife and my kid. Now my kid has to grow up and see this, then see that his father is in the same, that my name is in the same light as what you just called me. It's fucking sick. When I bring my son to school, right, and the other parents get to figure out who his dad is, and now they're associating me with that word.
So he just doesn't like the word he used, but he's not disputing what happened.
You don't even understand the levels.
If you are 28 years old and knowingly having sex with a 17-year-old while a 16-year-old watches, you are some fucking shade of, I don't know what. You sure telling them, hey, man, it's not pedophilia, it's a femophilia. I don't fucking know. But I don't think that's like a super, like, far fucking reach at that point. Like, there's something wrong with you.
Of damage that you just inflicted into my life, into my family's life, into everything that I built. I have put my heart and my soul into FaZe Clan.
There's no denial of what's happened here, bro. This is such a dog shit response.
Ways that you and Banks and Apex know more than anybody.
It just appeal to emotion. I don't like the word you used. Buddy, you're getting accused of sleeping with a fucking minor. Did you do it or not?
I brought you guys on because you guys deserved it, and I felt like you deserved it, and I broke bread with you completely. Split the company.
Dude, I was watching Pierce Morgan, like, sit down with a guy that strangled 13 women to death, and Pierce Morgan is like, so how does it feel to be put in the category of a serial killer? And I just don't like that word, man. I'm just like, not like, I just don't like that word. It's just like, I don't like, strangled 13 women to death or like, it was like when fucking John Wayne Gacy was on camera being like, dude, they didn't let Dahmer plead to the insanity defense. That's a sick fuck. I mean, if he's not crazy, who is? Got a load of that guy, that lunatic.
With you. And made sure that you were good. And even at times where...
So guilt tripping him with his own vulnerable moments, invoking your child, disputing the label, not the actual event. I mean, yeah, this is a horrible look, and it seems manipulative as fuck.
Like, you were trashing the company. I still stood out for you, and I still said he should still get paid. And I was looking out for you, you know? And
you were being accused of sleeping with a minor, and you're choosing to focus on everything but that.
And I wanted you, and even throughout all this stuff, like, in a way, I wanted you back.
And it's so fucked up, too, because, as I said before, Rain, like, he's not, like, delusional, but I think he's bipolar, right? So he, like, goes through, like, periods of, like, really bad depression. He's had some moments where he's been, like, totally manic, but he's not delusional. And at least to my knowledge, he's never been. And his story is being verified, and he's taking that, like, struggle when the two of them were supposed to be friends and, like, using that to, like, I guess guilt trip him or act like, you know, you owe him something, like, because he helped you at one point, like, you're not allowed to, like, talk about this. That's like manipulative as fuck.
Even though you said this, then that just goes to show you my heart. You know, I'm disgusted by your actions, by the person you've become. You haven't always been this way. You're a really nice kid. I don't know what happened.
Kid, you hang out with 16-year-old girls. Stop acting like a hard ass, you fucking pedophile. Mind your own piss. Holy shit. Okay, to be fair, okay, I could go to Ali Khan's Discord account and find, like, verbatim these messages. But, so that just adds to it. That on its own is not proof of anything, but, like, holy shit. So he doesn't deny it, okay? Uses, like, what seems to be blatant emotional manipulation. Honestly, one of the worst responses to getting accused of sleeping with a minor I've ever fucking seen. So, Rain reacts to his initial response.
I was sad and I was hurt for you in the beginning, and now I'm not. Because this is bullshit. This is the fakest fucking shit ever. And I get how hard it is for you when you have a fucking daughter, or you have a...
Total Rain support. I can only imagine, like, this guy's been through it. Rain's been through it, right? Rain has fucking been through it. This guy was here as his friend, helping him, supposed to be unconditional or whatever. And now that you realize your friend has done something insanely fucking shitty, and he's publicly getting called out for it, he's now evoking that situation where you put a certain level of trust in him. He's now evoking that to, like, emotionally manipulate you out of, like, calling him out for his shitty behavior. I'd be fucking pissed too.
Son and a wife, and it's hard. But this is bullshit. Be a fucking man, dog. Be a fucking man. Like, just be fucking real. What is up with all these content creators and weak ass people?
Total Rain support.
They can't just be like, yeah, I fucked up. My bad. And I get it.
Rain W's in chat.
It's heavier than that. It's deeper than that. But just be a fucking human, man. I hate content creators for this fucking reason, bro. They just play into what society wants. Fuck society. Fuck everybody. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So be real, bro. This shit is annoying, dog.
From what you call
True. Okay, so what happens next? Well, I'll tell you what happens next, folks. FaZe Temper releases a second response. So is he going to deny what he is being accused of doing? And what he's accused of doing allegedly at this point is sleeping with a 17-year-old at the age of 28 while a 16-year-old watched. So let's figure it out, okay? Maybe he's real. Maybe the other video was spontaneous. Maybe the guy's innocent and he didn't know what he was saying. He didn't like come up with it. Like it was just raw emotion that looked emotionally manipulative as fuck. He's had time to think it out. Let's see this response video that may completely vindicate this man whose life hangs in the balance.
The last time I'm going to speak of this, my private life is being aired out for public entertainment, and I'm being...
We have managed to drop to our lowest viewership ever, dude. This is so base.
...forced into an impossible situation. So now, one day, my children are going to see this video, and...
My kid, we don't care about your kids. We care if you did it right now, bro. If you didn't do it, deny it, and then we could talk about your kids. You could talk about how it's going to affect you after the fact. What we're trying to establish right now is, did it happen?
They're going to know about, you know, sexual experiences.
Agent Royals in chat, if you were still here, okay? If you're here during my 60 viewer fucking shitter segments, I want to remember you when I make out the slums, okay? I'll remember all of you.
...person that I was before I met their mother.
Who?
Was before I met their mother. Sexual experience video, and they're going to know about, you know, sexual experiences and the type of person that I was before I met their mother.
So it did happen. Okay, so it happened. And your only concern here is not that, like, I did that shit, it was fucked. My kids are gonna know that I did fuck shit before I met their mom.
Mother. And let's just start at the top. So a lot of what Norton was saying of the type of person that I was is true. Not all of it. I was a reckless kid.
No, nobody is... Okay, somebody just... A 17-year-old can't be a pet... I never said that. When have I ever said that? I'm saying this guy, at 28, allegedly slept with a 17-year-old. He's apparently admitting to it, although the specific ages have not been... No, the alleged pedo in this situation is not 17, he was 28. I was saying if it was a case of, like, he was 20... And the other person was 17, I don't think that's going to be indicative of him being a fucking pedophile if it was years ago, right? The guy is 28, or was 28 at this point in time. Thank you, Frenchius Fry, with the $2. Big ups, Aiden. Thank you, Frenchius Fry.
Very misguided. I was in and out of relationships, and I didn't know any better, right? And so one day, I met Emma, and Emma was the love of my life. Like this, I fell in love with this girl.
We don't care.
And I wanted to marry this girl, and I never had wanted to marry anybody before that. I never wanted to get married. And I was just blown away. So this is the girl that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with.
Dude, when he was fucking... If this is true, the ages are correct. Because right now it seems like, yeah, he did it. What it is, I'm disputing right now because I've been given different ages. Apparently it's 28 sleeping with a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old watched. To put that into perspective for you, my parents, at that point in time, were like already married and had me, right? By that age. And it's like, I don't know, just like think about it like relatively, it's like, what is wrong with you, bro?
But because of all the baggage that I had and
But then, like, even then, the fact, like, he has no remorse for it. That's the other thing, too. Like, even if you could say you were, like, a fucking sexually impulsive 28-year-old that saw a hot 17-year-old and fucking slept with her or some shit, and it was wrong as fuck. There is no remorse for it. I don't even think he knows what he did wrong.
All the shit that I went through and just the person that I was, I pushed her away. You know, she did not want to be with me, and
Dude, this isn't like a drug addiction. Like, you could use this excuse if you're like, I don't know. Like, dude, Ryle Kittenhouse could use this excuse for his, like, series of arrests, okay? I was a punk on drugs, okay? I was violent. I was angry at the world, okay? If you, like, assaulted someone 10 years ago, like, with your fist, and, like, were arrested for, like, resisting arrest and shit, like, I don't, like, you can say you changed from that, right?
she ended things.
This is like, it's not like you were just like, it's not like a fucking bar fight.
And that broke me and sent me into a dark place. Soon after that, I was just that lost soul again, going to parties, partying, and just...
By the way, Ryle Kittenhouse was not convicted of domestic violence. Nobody's retracted their statements yet, including Tommy C., who slandered him, or the person alleged to be him, for hitting a woman, or being a wife, or a woman beater, or whatever the fuck, when in fact, the complainant in the case, seemingly, based on my research, was a man, okay? And it also seems the charges were dropped the next day.
Being a fool. And then one day I go to New York, and I go to this club that's 21 plus, and I link up with a buddy there, and he invites...
Okay, if you want to say you didn't know the age, that can be like, okay, that could be something you could say, but like, you should have started off with that. Like, what he's saying is true, but there's crucial context missing here that I think would be like very important for assessing my culpability and guilt. If you want to accuse me of being reckless, irresponsible, when at that age, absolutely. I was a fucking man-child. I was an idiot, and I should have triple checked. I assumed because we were at a 21 club, everyone was 18 plus. I was drunk. I was impulsive. I fucking slept with her. And yeah, there's really no excuse for it. Whatever. Right? If you want to dispute knowing the age, you could do that. But it doesn't seem like that's the angle you're going with here.
It's a couple girls, and I end up going back with these girls. We're all shit-faced.
I skip... Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to skip anyone's dono. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. Belinda with the $2 with a pair. Thank you so much, Belinda. Very fucking generous. Thank you, Frenchius Fry. Thank you, Sirion. Thank you, Lumpy Willie. Thank you, Calverta. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Your Local Cryptid. Thank you, Katsuflockin. Thank you, Junkshort Gaming. Thank you, GG's. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Plants. Thank you, Nene. And thank you, Godspeed, for being sponsors of this growing streaming empire.
And I end up going back with these girls to my hotel room. I slept with one of them.
Who is sex? Well, if I can see, like, if it's like the mid-early 2000s, you get fucking wasted at a 21 plus club, go back to a room with someone and fuck. I think there can be a mistake, like, if they're 17, right? I think, like, there can be, like, you could have reasonably assume they were older or not have consciously believed them to be a minor at the time, which is, like, still, like, not really, like, a great excuse. Like, you should be way more careful, but that's gonna, like, differentiate you from being a pedophile, right?
And I found out after that this girl was 17.
Okay, so he's saying he found out after. Now, you should have fucking led with that.
And that's the age of consent in New York. But regardless, I was sick to my stomach.
And what was the, like, walk us through the story. Did she just, like, tell you after, oh, by the way, I'm 17, or did she tell you going into it?
It was just extremely uncomfortable knowing that and thinking about the situation. And that was it. And so shortly after that, or however long after that, Emma and I got back together. And you know, I was fully working on myself and becoming a better man and doing what I have to do to heal.
Yeah, also, apparently he was bragging about that shit after. Like, he didn't seem to be like, if it was the case, he found out after. If we were to go by Rain's version of events, it didn't really seem like he cared all that much or was that disgusted. Thank you, Ryan, with the 2. Whatever they say he did that shit. True.
Myself and heal, like, all the trauma that I had and just work on myself on being a better man. And, you know, not too long after that, I proposed. And a few months later, we found out she's pregnant. And now I realize I have a child on the way, so I have to put my self-growth in overdrive because
what does this have to...
my child does not deserve to live a life where he picks up the bad habits that I had
I'm sorry about your child, man. That has nothing to do with anything we're talking about.
Growing up. And so
you should be like, if it is the case this guy really didn't know the age, he should be consulting with a fucking PR firm because he's just like convinced me he did it.
A few years of my life have been on super fixated on just becoming.
And by did I mean we know he did it. The question is, did he know the age or not? I'm inclined to believe he did know the age, or was willfully ignorant, and even if he found it after, based on Rain's version of events that he hasn't disputed, he seemingly wasn't really remorseful about it. Like, he thought it was like a cool hookup or some shit, or whatever the fuck, was bragging about it to his boys, which indicates he didn't think it was something that was wrong, which indicates he'd probably be willing to do it, but despite knowing their age, in advance.
A better man, husband, and father. That's been my number one focus, and it's something that I needed for myself. And, you know, I wish that I started earlier. I wish that I didn't put the love of my life through all the things that I put her through, and you know, and then that was it. And so this allegation of me being called a pedophile is fucking insane. Anybody that knows me knows I am not a pedophile or even anything close to that, including Norden himself. So I just, this is something that is going to follow me around forever. And it's just sick because people on the internet will take things and twist it into something that it isn't, and just keep running with it. And now I just have to deal with the repercussions, you know? And so that's the unfortunate part about this reality. But that's it. I mean, there was nothing.
Okay, cool. So we get that, and then
4 hours.
Okay, I'm not watching this full thing. But apparently, he,
You know, maybe he was frantic and just didn't know what to say or do, so he just withheld that information, which I don't think he realized
about not knowing the age,
would have not made me look at him in that light if he was truly ignorant to the fact that they were.
So it seems like Rain is actually like believing this guy, that he didn't know the age. This is the first time he's hearing this excuse. Okay, I don't even need to watch this full thing. If he believes that apology, he believes it. I don't, okay? I don't. So Rain apologizes, and then we get FaZe Clan, including a list of people currently in FaZe, to reiterate who they are presently associated with, and the names of Rain and Temper are noticeably missing. So then, I guess Rain walks back the apology, because I think Rain was apologizing because he took this guy at his word. Yo, $2 from Belinda. Can we reach goal? Thank you so much. Will with another $2. 17 was age of consent. Vindicate. Okay, dude. Good one. You guys are awesome tonight, bro. Thank you guys so much. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything on Streamlabs either. With low viewership, we actually made good money today, bro. I think we had way more viewers like 2 streams ago. We made like $30. This is, you guys are sick. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. See, it is a real job, Mom. You fucked that kid and had no remorse. Well, I haven't talked to you since you said you had a threesome with 2 16-year-olds, then say it was only a 17-year-old. You said it to sound cool. Did he say that? He said that to sound cool? Does someone who feels disgusted think it's cool to drop the age and add a victim to sound cool? You're an actual piece of shit. Yeah, like, if it was the case that this did happen, he didn't know the age initially, he seemingly, based on Rain's recollection, which I believe, had zero remorse, and was actually bragging about it, indicating that even knowing the age probably wouldn't have stopped him. I only post this because your wife called me crying for 4 hours, begging me to. I offered to pay your bills for you because I felt at fault for you losing your 20K a month from FaZe. Tell the whole truth while you're at it. Wait, so did Temper only recently leave? Did Temper leave FaZe after this? So what does that mean that he's like an offline guy? Was he still in FaZe at the time this like came out? Tell the whole truth while you're at it, including Bianca and the family's lives you almost took drunk driving. Go on or I'll do it for you. And then it finishes with, Temper shows private DMs to prove he's innocent. Funny how times like these shows who's really in your corner. Grateful for the ones who reached out. It's from Drama Now. Oh, we got a collage, because nobody can just, like, send a coherent... And it won't even let me zoom in. There's no dates on this. But these are DMs from random. This is not proving he's innocent. These are DMs of support. These are not. We don't even know these DMs are. This just see because this precedes a post of the people who were in his corner. This is not vindicating. We don't even know who this is from. We don't know the date. And if we're going to use the context of the previous message, these are just messages of support from random people. He's fine, bro. Definitely not a bot. Well,
AIDS gang represent, okay?
Whoa! Juicy Dog with the 5. FaZe Jev Supremacy. Get rid of the... I don't know who FaZe Jev is, but thank you so much, Juicy Dog. You guys are the best. Well, that wraps it for the allegations presently. This guy probably did it, and if he did it incidentally, he didn't feel guilty after the fact. And this just like seems like post-hoc cope. It seems like Rain kind of owned him in the marketplace of ideas. And even this guy just seems like a fucking emotionally manipulative loser. But yeah, I mean, that's about that. I am about to go throw up and pass out and die. So I'm kidding. I'm going to wrap stream here. Thank you guys for helping us hit gold today. Super fucking generous. You guys rock. You guys are the best. You guys are much appreciated. And I will be seeing you guys probably, more than likely, tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, peace out.